We're good over here. Did the sound come back?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, let's hope so. The plug wasn't unplugged, so I don't know what the monster in the machine is. But hey, we're live and we're doing radio. It is time on the show.
There is
where we have to talk about one thing that really, really pleases me because it allows me to play my favorite tune.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Okay, it was a couple of hours ago, but I wanted to play the music anyway. Dehsaun Watson. Hey, going.
Yeah, that was fun. Back satisfied Browns fan said his memorial will be Friday at 5 o'clock. Everyone is welcome, but no Ravens at the visitation.
Yeah.
And here's what I will say to that. I'm not 100% sure that this is the death knell that people are making it out to be.
I mean, I get that that defense is good enough to still win them games, and they won a couple of games with P.J. Walker, but you're not.
I didn't tell you P.J. Walker was great, and I didn't tell you that Cleveland is. This probably takes you off the Super Bowl bandwagon,
no doubt.
But I mean, let's be all right. Facts don't care about your feelings. Stats don't care about your feelings. Mm-hmm. Let's be real honest here about where the Cleveland Browns sit with this knowledge that Dehsaun Watson will not be playing for the rest of this season. I'm going to go through the schedule, and schedules are important because who you play is really paramount. You tell me the team that they have upcoming that you're going to lose to without Dehsaun Watson that you would have beaten with him. Pittsburgh Steelers this week. That's going to be a no from me, Bob.
All right.
Denver Broncos.
No.
That's going to be a no from me. The L.A. Rams. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
They
don't beat good teams. We've been over this.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears. Nope. The Houston Texans.
Maybe.
There it is. Found it. Found the one. The New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Yet this doesn't really change anything for your regular season outlook. You might win one less game. Hey, you're still going to go to the playoffs because all those periphery teams in the AFC, they're all dead. The Buffalo Bills, dead. The New York Jets, dead. Tennessee Titans, dead.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't change anything. I mean, yes, I understand why there's the gnashing of teeth. I've just seen from every Cleveland Browns fan that we should be taking their shoelaces away from them, and I'm not so sure that that's how you should be reacting today.
Well, I mean, after you beat the Baltimore Ravens, you went.
It was poorly timed, I'll give you that.
Right, you went sky high, right? We saw good Dehsaun Watson in the second half of that game. He came back and won and beat the number one team in the league, or at least as far as our power rankings were concerned, and now you got the Super Bowl juices flowing again.
And I get that.
And it's Lucy with the football. Every time you get close, something happens.
I mean, and I get everything you just said. You do understand you're 6-3 currently, and we've seen good Dehsaun Watson for one half of football the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you just lost Pat Mahomes. Back satisfied Browns fan said, Jeremy, you had a very different reaction when your quarterback got hurt. You're right, because mine was really, really good.
Uh-huh.
And we went to really, really bad. You went from, that's all good half. I've also seen, what's he played, 6 games this year? 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen 5.5 games of, I mean, we're making this out like they lost the MVP. He threw for 1,100 yards total. You were still winning games without him. When he was god-awful, Dehsaun, you were still fine.
But what is it you always say? If I can't win it all, I don't want to win.
I don't, and I don't disagree with that.
And Browns fans find themselves in this place today.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Say we win all those games that we are supposed to on this schedule that's left. So we're going to be 12-4, and we're going to get knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. I'm not saying you're going to get dusted because nobody's going to dust that defense.
No, I mean, that's the thing. You were going to win games by running the football, playing good defense, and your quarterback would make a play every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
P.J. Walker can do that. I mean, is it as good as Dehsaun Watson at the high side? No. But is average P.J. Walker really markedly worse than what you've been getting from Deshaun Watson all season?
No, I mean, no. The answer is no. He's not markedly different than what you've been getting, but it was the promise of what you could have gotten, right, that everybody was hanging on to. No, we knew this team was not going to win something big with bad Deshaun Watson.
Man,
but it was the promise of good Deshaun Watson that made you think maybe he'll show up, and then he did, and now he's gone.
And I fully I get everything you're saying. I saw the news and I went, that's unfortunate.
That was it?
Yeah, I really didn't have a big sweeping declaration of that.
Wow.
Actually, the first thing I thought was, man, wouldn't it be convenient if you had Josh Dobbs? If you'd had the forward thinking to, I don't know, sign that guy. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
You did, and you traded him to the Cardinals for a 6th-round pick.
Right.
Oops. By the way, every time teams trade players for a 6th-round pick, I want to come back to this and go, hey, how's that Logs Never? Is that good? Is that real good? Okay.
Yeah, but what was I going to find otherwise? Was I going to find a decent guy down there?
Ask yourself this question. If the Cleveland Browns had Jacoby Brissett or Josh Dobbs, would you have even changed your opinion about them today? Because I don't think you should have. The fact that it's god-awful P.J. Walker and a rookie that you put too much faith in, that's the reason this is a story.
Yeah.
It is. It's just, are you sitting here telling me that Josh Dobbs or Jacoby Brissett couldn't be a 61% completion guy that had a touchdown a game and a little over half an interception a game?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
No, but that's
3 sacks a week?
And
You're telling me I
fine.
can't get that?
And that's fine. But as I said, you still weren't going to win with those guys.
But be honest with yourself. Were you going to win with Deshaun Watson?
You could have. That's the point.
Well, you could grow wings and fly around the studio.
Absolutely. There's zero chance, though, of winning a Super Bowl now. Zero.
I don't know. I don't.
You don't agree?
I think you were a long shot anyway.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I mean, because at the end of the day, ask yourself this question. You go up against Pat Mahomes and you had Deshaun Watson. Who has the advantage there? It's them by $1 billion. You go up against Joe Burrow. Who has the advantage there? It's them by $1 billion. That's not how you win games. It's one thing when your entire offense is predicated on this. And we're getting lost because we're paying him so much money, which that's a whole different ball of wax. Who has made more money for doing less things, Jimbo Fisher or Deshaun Watson?
Well, so far it's Deshaun. Jimbo's check doesn't come till Friday.
Yeah, but it's on its way. It's on its way.
Oh yes. As soon as he cashes that $90 million check or whatever that's coming in.
We should do an all holy good Lord, you made how much? Team will be captained by one Mr. Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely. All that money. But you still have hope.
I think you still have hope. I mean, your defense is that good. Your defense in a game that Deshaun Watson didn't really do anything to keep you in until the very end. I mean, yeah, he completed all those passes, but with 10 minutes to go, were you sitting here going, man, this is it's really been a coming out party for Deshaun Watson? No. Mm-hmm. You needed a Greg Newsome interception that he took to the house. You can still do that. You're going to have to be a little more vanilla. I get it. But you play a brand of football that works really, really well in January. And if you're at home, which I still think you have a possibility of doing, they're going to have to come into your house and beat that defense. And that's going to be hard to do no matter who the quarterback is.
No doubt about it. Still a chance to win a lot of games.
Where I fall on this is, do I trust Kevin Stefanski to put in a game plan that's going to work with P.J. Walker or Dorian Thompson-Robinson? The answer to that is, not really.
Did it look worse? Did it look worse when Deshaun was gone? Did you notice? I didn't. I mean, but I'm not the kind of guy that would notice a thing like that. That's why I asked you. When he was gone, did the play calling change all that much? Did the scheme change all that much?
Not tremendous. I mean, it changed for sure.
Mm-hmm. As it's going to. But will it change enough to make a difference? You're not going to lose games to the Rams probably. Definitely not the Bears. But you could get caught by a well-coached Pittsburgh team. A team that's beaten How many opponents this year?
I just struggle to believe
How many,
that team's going to beat you in any time that matters.
How many opponents? 6 times this year they've won games and been outgained by their opponents. Pittsburgh's a team that finds a way to win games, just like the Cleveland Browns are now. See, that I guess that's what this does for me, is when the Deshaun Watson news came out, yesterday we talked about him in the power rankings, and we had him at, 4?
Yes.
We had him at 4. They immediately dropped 10 spots for me.
They didn't for me.
When Deshaun Watson went out.
And I think that's insane that they dropped that far for you.
Because now,
what you just said is you think let's see, I'm trying to think of a team off the top of my head that was in that ballpark. Who was at 14? Oh, it would be really advantageous if I had this on my computer. And I do. Buffalo Bills. That's who was at 14. Yeah. You're telling me you like Buffalo better now than Cleveland? Because I'm going to tell you you're out of your mind if you tell me yes.
Chances to win a title, yeah. I mean, I could, because I just can't see it. You're the one that always says you can't win with a mediocre quarterback. And so your eyes, see, the thing is, your eye's already on the prize. I mean, that's great. We can win 12 games. Hell, maybe we will still win this division if somebody else trips up. But once we get into the playoffs, and you got to have that big play.
And maybe this is
PJ Walker to make that play.
And maybe this is where my preconceived bias is coming from. I didn't really think Cleveland had much of a shot to win a Super Bowl anyway. Mm-hmm. I think they're the 4th best team. Does that mean they had the 4th best shot to win the Super Bowl? No. I'd take Cincinnati over them. I'd take the Detroit Lions over them. I'd take the San Francisco 49ers over them. And that's probably where it stops.
Right.
So for me, they probably fell from 4 to 7.
Yeah. But now you've fallen into a group of teams that can play good defense. Your offense is going to not be great, but I mean, you're not as bad as the New York Jets, who are the poster child of that right now.
It's so funny to me of how different our reactions were to this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this news was, damn, the Houston Texans came out like a bandit in that Deshaun Watson deal. Do you realize what they got in that deal with all the picks?
Tell me.
Well, you got Kenyon Greene with the first one, which
didn't work.
No. It's probably not the one that I would be jumping up and down about because he's just not played, really. But the second pick you got from Cleveland was Will Anderson. Yep. That's the one you traded up to get to 3 with the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got another one coming this year that allowed you to trade your pick next year to come up and get Will Anderson. And you didn't pay the money. And it forced you to take C.J. Stroud. I'm just to a point of how rarely does it work out when you trade a superstar like that for the team that receives the superstar?
Yeah.
I mean, think of the last handful of these. Deshaun Watson, this has not gone well so far for Cleveland. I don't care what your record is.
No.
And you're stuck. Russell Wilson, that didn't work out so
Worst
hot.
trade in NFL history.
This one's going to challenge that.
Maybe.
This one's going to challenge that for the sheer fact of now you have to look at Deshaun Watson and go, you're injury prone. We've had 3 separate stories this year of him getting hurt. This is 2 of them he was able to go back into a game and didn't,
mm-hmm.
and now you're done for the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would feel great about that if I was Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, you don't feel great about it right now.
You would feel much better about it if you had a safety net. I keep coming back to that Josh Dobbs name going, man, that 6th-round pick better be real, real good or that's going to look real, real bad.
Right.
But what does it mean for the rest of the division?
That's a great question because you and I had a wager at the beginning of the season that we put on the board that was if we had to put our money on it, who would be the team to finish in last place in this division? I think you're already out, in my opinion.
Am I, though?
Because you went with Baltimore, and I don't think there's a chance that Baltimore's going to finish last in the division, but, of course, injuries can happen. We know the late season things that can happen there in Baltimore. My pick was the Browns. And today's news made me feel a little bit better about that wager. So who is at the top and the bottom of the North? We'll talk about it up next here on ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. Thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thank you for your kindness in the aisles and your smiles at the register. Thank you for supporting our efforts to help our neighbors in need. Thank you for trusting us to feed your family with food from farms close to home. Thanks for everything. And happy Thanksgiving. From our family to yours. Ingles, your neighbor for over 60 years.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people.
I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina.
Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Get big savings and big rewards during Provember. Earn bonus points on brands like DeWalt to redeem for NFL tickets to regular season games and more. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Musk Cologne, couples trampoline.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
What do you mean he's not coming in? This is our busiest time.
The mixologist at Claude's Bar is moving to Manhattan.
I'm already down 2 bar backs. No one's manning front of
Now he needs an equally cosmopolitan replacement.
How am I going to find a new bartender before New Year's Eve?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and you can come hang out with the Sportsocracy live tomorrow evening. After the show, we're going to be going straight from here over to the Ingles on New Leicester Highway, the one in Irwin Hills, 575 New Leicester Highway, as we will be there in support of Manna Food Bank and the Ingles Giving Tree. The lighting of the Giving Tree is coming up on Monday of next week, which we will also be in attendance for. The Ingles Giving Tree, a great holiday fundraiser. Love for everybody to be involved. Come by and see us tomorrow, 4 to 6 at the Ingles at 575 New Leicester Highway.
And this year we're not doing a show during it, so we can be social.
That's
as
right.
Opposed to being, off in the corner while they're lighting it, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yes, indeed. We got that coming up. Come see us tomorrow and join us on Monday at the Asheville Mall for the Ingles Giving Tree.
I've got a busy set of days.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Got Ingles tomorrow. Doing a wedding on Friday.
Right.
I will not be here Friday.
Yeah, programming note, we will not have a show for you on Friday afternoon because Jeremy's got a wedding thing he's got to be out of town for, and, frankly, I've got things to do at the house.
And we will have the second round of the mock draft that came out last week coming out on Friday in this very time slot. So you can still see my bright, shining face.
while we're talking about the goings-on, we will also be starring on the Ingles float in the Asheville Holiday Parade this Saturday morning. So line up on the parade route and throw things at us.
I'm really glad you reminded me of that, or you would have been starring on it because that had completely slipped my mind.
Yes. Got an email about that yesterday.
I'm sure I would have gotten another one where I went, that was the other one. I knew there was another one.
Yep. So it's going to be a very busy week for us. And then the holiday week next week, we'll just go ahead and tell you Football Friday is going to be on Tuesday.
Because, again, holidays.
Yes. So we'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week for the Thanksgiving holiday. Just a little update. That's why Jeremy said you can expect a little out of him because he just realized that he is off for 8 of the next 11 days.
Yes.
And
yes,
so
I am.
The effort level.
Let the debauchery begin.
He's already in vacation mode. He had a McRib this morning, and now he's realized he's on vacation for a while. And,
I'll be having 2 more directly after the show.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's cheat day. And I cheat real big. And I cheat real good.
Go big or go home. Like in the AFC North, you got to go big or you're going to go home because these teams are incredibly talented. This weekend, we're going to find out at the top of the division with Cincinnati and Baltimore going head-to-head. Actually, that's Thursday, right?
Yes, that's tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh, that's tomorrow. I love it.
Our primetime games this week, they took a step up.
They did. We're going to bookend the weekend with this one and then Philly and Kansas City on Monday night.
4 of our top 5 in the power rankings play each other on Thursday night and Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And then there's that mediocre bowl on Sunday Night Football. It was Minnesota and Denver. There you go.
Looks less mediocre today than it did a week ago.
Sure it does, because we laughed and said gross about it last week. Now it's kind of got some intrigue. But who wins this division now with the Dehsaun Watson injury? I really didn't think that Cleveland was winning the division with Dehsaun Watson. It was going to be close.
And I still do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the schedule?
The schedule is brutally bad. And then you look at what Baltimore gets, and you look at what Cincinnati gets, and you look at how little I believe in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I still think there's – I mean, the percentage might have gone down for me 10%.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that much.
Really?
Tell me which of the things that I'm getting ready to say. When I say something inaccurate, you tell me that's the one. Baltimore has a history of going full grumper in December.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here are the games they play in that month. Their bye week is the first week. Then they play the Rams. Okay, I get it. Then you go at the Jaguars, at the 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. That has letdown possibility written all over it.
Yep.
Whether you win Thursday night or not, it doesn't really matter. You're 1 game clear of Cleveland. 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Pittsburgh does not score easily. And when it gets cold, more is going to fall on Kenny Pickett because you can kind of jam the box to keep them from running. But if I said anything inaccurate here?
No.
Okay. The other team in that division is the Cincinnati Bengals, who are a game behind the Browns. They get they and the Browns play the last week of the season, and you still have games with the Chiefs and with the Ravens. Yeah, but the advantage here is all on Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore's got a 1-game advantage. That is the only advantage they have. And the fact that I think they are a little bit better.
Right.
But I'm not going to be shocked if something happens to Lamar. I mean, I don't want to forecast injuries, but this would be year 4 in a row that something happened to him in December.
Right.
I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. Yeah, you said you felt better about Cleveland finishing last in this division. I don't in any way.
Really?
Yeah, we both said Pittsburgh Steelers wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh is no doubt the chief candidate here. We've said that that's fake, right? That's non-sustainable. You can't continue to be outgained in every game and still end up winning most of them. You're 6-3, right? Is that
yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers are faker than Dolly Parton's Bazoomas.
You take it easy on Cuz.
He's related to Dolly Parton, if you wonder why he says that.
You better stop that. She my kin. Yeah, they're not winning this division. They're probably not going to finish in last. The Steelers are my favorite to finish in last because of how offensively limited that team is. But is it going to surprise me to see P.J. Walker take over here and the Cleveland Browns turn into a little bit better facsimile of the New York Jets? No, not really. They'll have a shutdown defense, but that offense is still going to average 20 points a game.
The line is exponentially better.
Mm-hmm.
Your weapons are exponentially better.
Okay.
Okay, let's. I'll give you Garrett Wilson is better than Amari Cooper. Tell me the next thing that they win. Yeah, I'd rather have Breece Hall. He also has no offensive line, and every team in the league knows that's what you're trying to do.
And would you rather have Zach Wilson than P.J. Walker?
You don't want me to answer that.
Really?
Behind this line, 6 one way, half dozen the other.
Okay.
The only way I'm saying yes to that is if devil I know versus devil I don't know.
Right. I would say yes.
Tight ends,
to me
I'd
that
rather
would be
have
pretty
Cleveland's.
easy.
It's not pretty easy.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather have Cleveland's tight ends. You don't have one of those.
And the rest of the receivers.
Yeah.
And the defenses are equal. And I guess that's my point.
Maybe.
Is I'm looking at the AFC right now going, I can kill off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, debatably a 7th team. Means there's only really 9 or 10 teams left in the AFC.
Yes.
You get into the playoffs. You catch a couple advantages. You catch a snow game or something off the wall. Somebody's going to have to beat that defense in bad weather, and I struggle to believe that P.J. Walker or Deshaun Watson changes that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
it didn't change all that much.
Not really.
Not
really.
And it did change something for me. But there again, didn't think P.J. Walker could win, 2 games already with this team? So what do I know? You're in the Sportsocracy. It's the ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time to get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain chances will go up, but just a bit as we look ahead toward the latter part of the week. This afternoon, I still like cloudy. I don't think we'll see much of any sunshine, and cool. Upper 50s. Overnight tonight becoming cloudy, upper 30s. Tomorrow becoming sunny with highs pleasant in the low 60s. And the clouds will thicken back up. They'll have a chance of rain late Thursday night to Friday morning. It'll taper off to showers. Really not a great chance. Highs will be in the low 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stachik.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Get big savings and big rewards during Provember. Earn bonus points on brands like DeWalt to redeem for NFL tickets to regular season games and more. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial #250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Sarles Garage and Service is your one-stop car care, offering alignments, oil changes, brakes, North Carolina inspections. Call 926-0385 to schedule your appointment with excellent customer service to handle all your automotive needs. Enjoy a delicious meal while you wait at J Creek Cafe. Michael Sarles Marathon, your one-stop shop servicing Waynesville and Maggie Valley.
At Tyson Furniture, they have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. They're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit them at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy live on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. And, Jeremy, you love McRib sandwiches.
Oh, it's a chef's kiss. I will have 3 of them before this day is over.
We found out today that you're pretty good at constructing sandwiches.
Oh, yes. I'm telling you, if the radio thing doesn't work out, I got a future as a McRib constructor.
But I understand that there's an NFL player that has gotten your goat because of the way he builds sandwiches.
I was already feeling some kind of way about Lions' former first-round pick, Jameson Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I now am completely convinced that he is both a bust and completely out of his mind. He shared a picture on his InstaFace of his McDouble sandwich, which the McDouble is one of the most underrated sandwiches in all of fast food lore. And in the Daily Draft today, we will be drafting fast food accoutrement.
What?
Fast food stuff.
Fast food items, I guess.
Bingo.
There we go.
McRib. See, here's the good thing about gameplay. I know I don't have to take it early because Tank doesn't like him because his palate is broken. Which means I get a free layup in the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
He adds something strange to his McDouble, though. It's an Oreo McFlurry. You're a psychopath. That's the only way I can even possibly be. French fries, I've always thought that was weird, that people dunk their French fries in ice cream.
Yeah, that's good.
That's weird.
Love it.
And people say, oh, it's the salt and sweet thing.
Yeah.
Well, one's really hot or supposed to be, I don't know, edible.
Mm-hmm.
And you're cramming it in ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. that is.
You don't know what's good. Stop it.
Oh, it's awful. I see people do that. I'm like, man, that guy right there, as I see him dunk his French fries in a Frosty, that guy's 3 bad days away from being Son of Sam 3.
It's completely normal activity. Don't you listen to him.
It is not normal. It is weird. And is this not like super strange? How do you even come up with that?
I have no clue.
If you don't smoke recreational crimes, at what point do you go, I'm going to pour my McFlurry on my cheeseburger?
Hey, maybe he had, Jameson Williams doesn't have great hands, so maybe he dropped his McFlurry on his burger one time and went, you know what? I'm going to eat it anyway. And he did, and now he can't stop doing it that way.
There's only one way to eat a McDouble, and we all know what it is. I can't say its name on this show. But, I mean, we call it the menage a trois.
I know which one you're talking about.
The menage a trois.
I know what you're doing. It's weird that you would end that story that way.
Oh, that's the only way to eat a McDouble.
With the story that I'm getting ready to tell.
You get the McChicken, and you put the chicken in betwixt the burger.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a McFatus.
Speaking of chickens, do you know about the Chicken Ranch? Do you know what the Chicken Ranch is?
Do I look like a man that would know anything about a place? Now, the Bunny Ranch, that would be more my speed.
Apparently, there's a place in Las Vegas called the Chicken Ranch. It's the fabulous Chicken Ranch, and it's just like the Bunny Ranch. That's you get things that are not, animals there. Couple of ladies at the Chicken Ranch offering their services this weekend because there's a big sporting event in town. I feel like they're not the first one to do this. Didn't the Bunny Ranch do this for the Super Bowl?
It sounds like something that I probably told a story about long ago.
The big F1 Grand Prix in Las Vegas is this weekend. And so Addison Gray and Alice Little, who are residents of the Chicken Ranch, are offering their services for free for this weekend to all Formula One drivers. Now, I don't know if you have to bring like a Formula One card with you, or if there is going to be a massive security team on hand to make sure that you're not just wearing a race suit that you stole from somebody so you can get free stuff at the Chicken Ranch.
Okay, so I may have missed when you disclosed this. What exactly does the Chicken Ranch do?
They're the Bunny Ranch, but owned by different people.
So why would you call it the Chicken Ranch?
It's the Fabulous Chicken Ranch. That's what they call
The
it.
Chicken Ranch sounds like where the guy that asked if you wanted to buy his rock would go. Because there's a term here that I'm really wanting to say. Man, I've flirted with some lines here.
Yeah.
That is the first thing I thought of when you just said that this was a nefarious place.
I had never heard of the Chicken Ranch before. The only chicken ranch I know of is the Chicken Bacon Ranch. And that is a lovely, lovely sandwich.
I feel like that's a promo coming sometime soon. One of them loves the Bunny Ranch, and one of them loves a good chicken bacon ranch.
Exactly.
That explains the
feel
dichotomy
like when
of
you
this
do
show.
this, when you're inviting you're inviting a lot of, I don't know, unwanted attention, don't you think?
I don't understand how any of these people make money when they give it away for free. You ever heard that term?
I don't know.
Why would I buy the cow if you'll sell the milk for free?
I don't know. Here's the statement. Any driver that wants to get their hearts racing and celebrate the F1 with me and Addison will be treated to 100% complimentary coitus. Our discount,
complimentary,
which they're
I don't think
giving.
you want that on.
They're giving a discount to everybody else who's in town for F1 weekend. 50%
I mean, this is one way
off.
to drive up ratings, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe Major League Baseball should try this.
50% off.
Oh, God. Could you imagine which one of these places would offer this to Golden Oldies is offering free lap dances to anybody that watches the World Series?
Our discount will help Vegas visitors and residents blow off some steam with a couple of generous ladies so that they can chill out during the race. Everyone who made F1 in Vegas possible deserves a break, and we are here to provide some well-oiled appreciation.
I'm going to tell you, I will take no questions after I make this statement.
Oh, God.
If you ever want one of these places to hang up on you, just ask what order you're in for the day. It's a question they never want to answer. And it's the only one I want to know.
Yep. It is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
I don't have to be first, but I damn sure ain't going to be last. You kept trying to talk over me. I was getting that line out if it killed me.
I was just trying to move on. And
didn't matter where it fell in that particular segment. I was getting that line in.
Kept making it worse. All right, time to play the fun game. Either, neither, or both. Jeremy Greene, what's the biggest question on your mind right now?
Well, I have a few of them. I feel like you answered my first question because I was going to ask a Cleveland Brownie question.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask another question that's been rattling around in my head for the better part of the last day. Knowing what you know now, if you had it to do all over again, which one of these two was a better prospect? Trevor Lawrence or C.J. Stroud?
Ooh. Which one was a better prospect?
Let's just say somehow the NFL breaks down and we have a Madden-style draft where everybody goes into the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you taking first?
C.J. Stroud.
I don't think it's even close.
No.
I really don't think it's even close.
It's not close at this point. Unfortunately, Trevor has years of tape for me to look on and see what he's like as an NFL quarterback.
I think the years of tape are what actually kills him.
And granted, while it has changed, it has gotten a little bit better, and he's still not great. I've seen greatness from C.J. Stroud already, and it makes me feel like I can build on that.
I've seen greater from C.J. Stroud in 10 weeks than I've seen from than I've seen from Trevor Lawrence in 4 years. And before you tell me, well, he went into a better situation, did he? Did he really?
Oh,
the Houston Texans were the biggest dumpster fire in the NFL, and I'm not sure it was all that close.
I was going to say, he did get DeMeco Ryans his first year out as a head coach.
I got that, and Trevor got Urban Meyer. Right. I'm well aware of that. Roster for roster, which one did you seriously like better going in? That Jaguars roster or this Texans roster? And, it's weird. Receivers with good quarterbacks. We didn't think Nico Collins was all this with Davis Mills, did we? Noah Brown, he didn't look like this with Dak Prescott.
He did at times. He had a couple of big games.
He had a couple decent games. Biggest game of his career was against the Cincinnati Bengals this week.
Mm-hmm.
And he's their 4. It's just Dalton Schultz. I think he's been better with the Texans than he ever was with the Cowboys, and he was pretty good with the Cowboys. That's just been rattling around in my head of if that somehow happened, who are the first handful of picks in that?
Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know.
I'd take C.J. Stroud over both of them.
Because
I don't have to pay him.
Yeah.
He's 21 years old making circus peanuts.
Yeah.
And I get 4 years of that.
I don't.
Now, I'm not saying he is a better player. I'm saying I'll ride the lightning and take the chance.
Right. You'll take the deal with the less money. I get it. I can see that. True fantasy draft, would you take him number 1 overall?
I'm not sure that I wouldn't. Mahomes would be my 2, solely because he's that elite, and he's on a deal that's going to age quite nicely.
Mm-hmm. And Joe was 3.
Either Joe or Trevor's 3. I don't know which one.
Or Micah Parsons. You throwing him in?
No, my first 12 will be quarterbacks.
My first 12. Just so you can trade them all? Is that where you're going?
I mean, and they're all elite. The difference comes into the contract.
Yep.
Chris Oder asked in the YouTube comments, would you trade Joe Burrow for C.J. Stroud straight up doing part of the contract? I don't know. I'm really glad I don't ever have to make that decision, and both of their GMs are too.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even want to kick that beehive because I'm not sure what my response is going to be.
Mine would be no. Mine would be no. If I got him in the building, I'm definitely not getting rid of him. I'm definitely not taking Joe Burrow out of my locker room to throw C.J. Stroud in there because he's been good for 8 games.
And that's just a super hypothetical. But
yeah, absolutely. All right, since we're doing hypotheticals here.
I do like a good hypothetical.
This is really just an either or neither. I guess we could change this to either, neither, or other. Jimbo Fisher's next coaching job will be in the SEC, in the ACC, or nothing.
It will be neither of those.
Really?
No. The fact he can recruit, look, the thing about Jim Bob is that you get to this point of your career, you were a headache to a point at LSU, but you were super controlled by Nick Saban. You were a headache at Florida State, and literally every booster, every member of the administration, anybody affiliated with that school will tell you the same thing. He was a nightmare to deal with. Florida State fans were happy. Boosters were happy when he took the Texas A&M job. Now you've been paid $76 million to go away. I don't know who would be desperate enough that he would be willing to take the money they're offering. There are only 3 career paths to me for Jim Bob Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
He's either going to take one of those rebuild your image jobs, Arkansas State, Louisiana Monroe, Jacksonville State, one of these small-level schools that's decently good. Jacksonville State's one's good.
Does he go back to his alma mater of Samford?
Oh, I mean, they would hire him in a heartbeat, but I think he's going to get his first paycheck and go, I made 7 times this sitting on my couch. By the way, fun stat, he'll make $26,000 a day for the next 8 years. Think about what I just said.
Good for him.
Or he will find some super desperate school. I would have to imagine it would be in the Southeast. Georgia Tech is one that came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd have to be willing to take the money.
Because that's the ones I'm looking at. Because I think that would be there. We will get to a point. I don't know when it is, maybe next year, year after that. He will be somebody's fallback option.
Well, the problem with Jimbo is that he's never proven that he can win without the money. The Florida State job was prime real estate when he took it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the rare instances where we always say you don't want to be the guy that replaces the guy. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that replaced the guy. Bobby had hung around for so long, and the results on the field had gotten to such a point that it was almost like Bobby had replaced himself. Then you come in with all the money. The boosters are desperate to win. They're willing to do anything you ask. They're building new locker rooms and new training facilities and upgrading the stadium. That was a perfect scenario for him. The problem is that he never stopped asking for more. And then the money dried out. And when the money dried out, he ran away. And then he went to Texas A&M to a place where the well will never run dry. The only problem is that he didn't win. So, I mean, no high-end school is looking at Jimbo Fisher going, yeah, let's do that. This screams Ole Miss basketball to me when they hired Chris Beard.
Yep.
Because he was the coach of one of the top teams in the country. He got fired for a personal conduct issue, and they went, you know what? We're bad enough that we're going to catch him at a discount, and we'll enjoy 2 or 3 years before he bounces to another job. Because with as young as Jimbo is, that is possible.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I have not heard yet, and I won't be shocked if this is where this goes, is he is the next in a very long line for the Nick Saban Rehabilitation Clinic.
That does make a lot of sense.
And
Brings him
before
in as
you
the
say
OC.
they wouldn't do that because all the things they said, go back and look at that track record of guys that have been on his staff and things that they have said about one another over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Jimbo would be the high side of that, but he wouldn't be the first.
There was a time where Lane took some shots.
No doubt.
And then he ended up on his staff.
And they, from everything I've heard, absolutely detested each other by the end.
But it was so good. It was so good that Nick knew there was a benefit to having him in the
Well, that's what Nick has always done so well, is that Nick doesn't have to like you. Nick Saban looks at everybody and goes, can you help me win, yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then I have a place for you. Are we going to be best friends? No. Are we even going to speak to each other? I've heard him and Kiffin didn't even speak to each other for extended periods of time. Didn't matter.
Yeah. I had not thought about the rehab assignment. He could very well do the rehab assignment with Alabama and then bounce back to a big-time job from there. But I feel like he's not going to be out there long. Especially, I mean, if he doesn't want to, somebody's going to give him a job. And I think it's going to be a team in the ACC or in the SEC, one of these bottom feeders, South Carolina Gamecocks or I don't know, Missouri when Eli Drinkwitz leaves.
And he's going to.
Of course he is.
He's going to leave.
He's got that team in the top. Did they make the top 10 this week? Or they're just outside of the top 10?
Right outside of it, I think.
With the loss to Georgia, they fell, and then they bounced back after the Tennessee win. So I can't remember if they bounced back into the top 10 or not, but they're right outside it, if not inside the top 10. And, of course, he's going to leave. Missouri would take a swing like that.
I just don't know that that's the one you want to do it with. I have one more quick.
Oh, okay.
Usually I am the one that evaluates talent for the NFL draft. And I will be, obviously, a lot moving forward. Second round of the mock draft comes out on Friday. Either, neither, any. With Quinn Ewers saying he's coming back to Texas, is there another quarterback that you feel even remotely good about in this draft class? I'm looking Michael Penix. I'm looking Bo Nix. I'm looking J.J. McCarthy. I'm looking Jaden Daniels. Are there any of them that you think can turn into good quarterbacks, good starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and if so, which one?
Yes. I'm not big on Penix. But
his throwing motion's really long, but I like the kid a lot.
But I'm pretty high on J.J. McCarthy, and I'm pretty positive that Jaden Daniels is going to be something.
Jaden Daniels is the one. Jaden Daniels is the one I keep coming back to going, if we take that Arizona State thing out of it, when you've gotten high-level coaching, you've been really good. And he's a really good runner. Are there things that need to be, edges that need to be smoothed off? Absolutely. But the more I look at Jaden Daniels, and maybe I'm letting the Jalen Hurts thing haunt me, of I didn't see an NFL quarterback in him, and I did not project that a team would build their whole offense around him. I think you can do that with Jaden Daniels.
That's the way of the NFL now. You find a quarterback that is so good at so many things, you have to build an offense around him. Day by day, the NFL is becoming more and more like the college game.
Absolutely. You get elements of it every
and
single year.
That's why these guys who we used to look at and go, no, he's not going to make it at the next level because he's too athletic or he's too skinny or he's too – whatever your excuse was for guys in the past that were these mobile quarterbacks, that doesn't exist anymore in the NFL to a certain degree.
The reason that I wanted to ask this was so that I could say Jaden Daniels is officially my number 3 quarterback in this class with the news on Quinn Ewers, and he is getting eerily close to Drake May and Caleb Williams. After I looked at the tape again, I'm not sure he's not going to be in my top 20. And neither Drake nor Caleb are in my top 8.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's Bangers for the night coming up next.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Don't let unused insurance dollars go to waste. Most insurance plans cover 2 dental cleanings and exams each year before expiring on January 1st. Maximize the dental insurance benefits you're already paying for and schedule your exam today with Asheville Smiles. Dr. Merrill's mission is world-class dental through technology and research. You'll get the most advanced treatment with the comforts of home. Schedule your exam now before the end of the year rush. AshevilleSmiles.com. That's AshevilleSmiles.com.
When you wake up well-rested on a great mattress, everything becomes clear.
My life coach has a terrible life.
Things you missed when you were tired finally reveal themselves.
My passport is in the pocket of the duffel bag I took to Mexico.
It's the Black Friday sale at Mattress Firm. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700 on Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select mattresses. And if you see a better price, we'll match it. The right mattress matters. We'll find yours. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
Make it easy to navigate your health insurance coverage with #1 rated Hummingbird Insurance. Hummingbird provides free assistance for easy comparison shopping across multiple insurance carriers. Schedule a free consultation at hummingbirdins.com. Many qualify for $0 net premium premiums. Even high earners may qualify for tax credit subsidies. Don't wait to learn about your options. Enroll now for next year. Visit hummingbird.ins.com. Hummingbird Insurance. Comparison shopping made easy.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's Some Action Wednesday, and we hope that tonight goes as well as last night did, because we went 5-1 with Maction bangers. We try to continue the winning tonight. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The Buffalo Bulls, not Bills, Bulls, traveled to Miami of Ohio tonight. The Red Hawks are an 8.5-point favorite. Look, this is a really simple game to figure out. Buffalo's not very good. Miami still has a shot at making it to the MAC title game, but they're going to need a little help, and they have to win tonight. Miami's also one of the best teams in the country at covering. They're 6-0 this year as favorites, and over the last 2 years, there are only a handful of teams in major college football that have actually covered spreads at as good of a clip as Miami of Ohio. So I'm taking the Red Hawks minus the 9. I don't think this game's particularly ever close, and it could be a low-scoring slugfest. Other game of the night, Ohio is an 11-point favorite at home against lowly and god-awful Central Michigan. All right, it took me time, but I finally figured it out. Curtis Rourke, he's a dog for Ohio. Central Michigan is not good at all. This could easily be an absolute bloodletting because Central Michigan is historically bad against the pass. So this one's easy. Give me the Bobcats minus the 11. They win in a walk. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain chances will go up, but just a bit as we look ahead toward the latter part of the week. This afternoon, I still like cloudy. I don't think we'll see much of any sunshine, and cool, upper 50s. Overnight tonight becoming cloudy, upper 30s. Tomorrow becoming sunny with highs pleasant in the low 60s. And the clouds will thicken back up, and we'll have a chance of rain late Thursday night to Friday morning. It'll taper off to showers. Really not a great chance. Highs will be in the low 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stachik.
'Tis the season when you're in the mood for holiday music. Listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station. Brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingles Markets.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles Studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the earth, on the iHeartRadio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat today. You know, normally when we come back from a football weekend, it's called a Victory Monday sometimes if your team wins. But today, I feel like today is a Victory Wednesday because all is right with the world. The Georgia Bulldogs, two-time national champions, back at number 1 in the college football playoff rankings last night. The committee jumped Georgia to number 1 over Ohio State.
Yes. Congratulations, your 4th team is in first. Great.
Michigan in 3rd, Florida State 4th. That would be your college football playoff. We're the season to end today, but we still have a lot more to shake out. Obviously, Michigan and Ohio State will face each other.
Well, I mean, this was always how this was going to go, is that Georgia would position themselves to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State and Michigan will play each other. The winner will jump you. Whoever wins that game is going to be the one the following week. The question is, do they remain the one when you if you were to beat Alabama in the SEC title game?
Mm-hmm.
That is no longer a no-doubter to me. That is back fully in the if column.
What, that we beat Alabama in the
Yes.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And at this point, I still think Michigan's the best team in the country. Georgia is markedly closer, but I still don't think you're there. Solely because I don't know. I saw a meme from a Georgia fan, and I don't remember now off the top of my head who it was, of the vicious cycle of being a Georgia fan.
Yep.
Is you haven't played anybody, plays a top 15 team. Well, they weren't any good anyway.
Yep.
And you just go in this vicious cycle. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way with the way the SEC's laid out this year, that was always destined to be the case until you won the SEC title game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good thing for you is, and I say you as metaphorical you with Georgia.
Georgia, right.
Is that Alabama has put themselves in a position to be that reputable win that could make you the one. I don't know if they will see that as better than beating Ohio State or beating Michigan. I don't know.
It's the body of work that would come into play there, because at that point, what do you have if you're Ohio State or Michigan? You have that win. You have the win over Penn State.
Ohio State has a win over Notre Dame.
Yeah, but Notre Dame is down there in the rankings. Georgia
still in the top 20.
Georgia would end up, I mean, should things stay pretty much the way that they are, these teams win out, which I don't think anybody's got a big landmine left on their schedule between Missouri, Mississippi, and Alabama. I mean, obviously Alabama would lose to Georgia, but they won't lose much. What I'm saying is, by the end of the season, Georgia would have 3 wins inside the top 12 possibly, which would would outweigh Ohio State and Michigan.
I don't know. It just depends on how they weigh that.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, if you're outside of the top 10, you're completely irrelevant. To me, there are 8 teams in college football. That's it. Outside of that, none of your wins matter because the top 8 are so markedly much better than everybody else. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I would view it. Now, will the committee view it that way? I don't know. I said a long time ago, you painted yourself in a corner with the first ranking, and you have done nothing but continue to do that since.
Well, I've been surprised that since they did that with the first ranking, that they have left your team at 4.
I'm not.
I am super surprised.
You get crucified. You would absolutely get crucified.
Yeah, I guess.
Florida State's played by every analytical metric, they played one of the best schedules in the country. They have one of the strongest strength of records in the country, and you drop them out of the top 4, you would get killed. You get killed.
Mm-hmm.
And now that was the second thing I was going to say, is Florida State has pretty much cemented their spot so long as they win out. Because Louisville is going to be a top 10 team when they play because they don't have another game they could lose.
I don't know how much I don't know. I haven't seen the strength of record standings or what at this moment. But, I mean, Washington beats Oregon State this week. That's 3 weeks in a row they will have beaten a top 25 team, and I thought they were going to jump you on the first one.
Oh,
like when they beat USC, I thought they were going to jump you.
Well, they're not jumping Florida State.
You don't think so?
No. It's not going to happen because you don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is where I was coming from with that first ranking, is that I can't tell you anything you just said is wrong because Washington has the second best strength of record. Georgia is 6. Well, now you jump Georgia in spite of the fact that all of the metrics that you say matter, they don't have any of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the maddeningly inconsistent comes in. Strength of record, Ohio State is 1, Washington is 2, Florida State is 3, Michigan's 4, Texas is 5, Georgia is 6. The dumbfounding part of that is that Texas is ahead of Georgia with a loss. That is super rare in strength of record.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad Georgia's schedule has been.
Yeah.
77th in the country.
Yeah.
And you can give me Ole Miss, you can give me these mid-tier teams you've beaten. It doesn't matter. You don't have a signature win. Alabama is your shot at a signature win. Because to me, whoever wins out in the Big Ten, that's probably your one. That's probably your one because I don't think Georgia can overcome all of the good, God, awful. I mean, you went 6 weeks where you didn't play a team that's going to be bowl eligible.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, the beginning of the schedule was absolutely terrible. Now, I don't know,
do you know where FPI has you right now? And now I need to
ranked amongst the country or?
Yes. I need to preface this with, I think FPI may possibly be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
They have Michigan 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon is 3, Alabama is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's ahead of Georgia with a loss. Think about what I just said. And your 5 is Penn State. Penn State is 5 with 2 losses.
Which is ridiculous.
This is a metric that ESPN actually uses with a clear conscience.
Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous.
You got no qualm out of me.
Wow.
Georgia's 6, Oklahoma's 7. They're all ahead of Florida State, by the way.
I don't even understand kind of what that's based on.
I don't.
Wow.
You want me to tell you what I think it is? Because I've tried to figure it out for 11 weeks.
Yeah.
Hunter Biden did what Hunter Biden does and then threw darts at a board and went, there's your ranking.
Yeah, it seems like it. Because part of me looks at this and goes, okay, so if it wasn't the strength of record that vaulted Georgia to number 1, then how much is the eye test on this?
I don't think it's eye test. I think it's public narrative.
Okay.
I really do. That's what swayed me on the 4-team playoff. This year completely swayed me. I was dead set against a 12-teamer.
Yes.
I am dead set against the 5-7 model. I hate it.
Why?
I hate it less than the 6-6. If you don't know what I'm talking about, 5-7 is 5 conference champions and 7 at-large bids.
Mm-hmm.
It should be 4-8.
Okay.
Do you know?
We're going to get to a point where you're just like, screw it, it's just all at-large bids. Because I think you've come down on that every week.
I have no aversion to 12 at-large bids.
Yeah.
I don't. It's the same thing I say about the NFC South. Okay, so you beat a bunch of dog piddle, and because you did that, I'm going to reward you? That logic doesn't, that math don't math to me.
Right.
Do you even know who that team would be this year?
The top Power 5, group of 5?
Yes.
Is it
because
Tulane?
the Pac-12 is not going to exist.
Is it Tulane still?
No, it's not.
Who is it?
I mean, I'm not looking. I'm looking at the wrong rankings.
Oh.
It may still be Tulane.
I think it's Tulane. Tulane's at 24. They dropped 1 spot this week.
That is the one. That is the one.
Yeah. Yay. I mean, I know they beat USC last year in a bowl game?
Yes.
So,
in a bowl game that USC didn't even want to play in.
No.
You're this close to the Liberty Flames being a automatic qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% good.
Yes. I'm right there with you. Right there with you. When we originally talked about this, it was I thought it was the 5-7. You were against the 5-7 model because we wanted 6 and 6.
I never wanted 6 and 6. I thought 6 and 6 was dumb.
Maybe it wasn't you I was having that argument with.
It wasn't me. And let me put it this way. I can call that argument anytime you want to. Anything that's going to give me Tulane or Liberty or any of these other mediocre schools in a playoff, I can guarantee you I was not the one that said it.
Right. I mean, I'd be happy cutting it to 4. Right? Just the 4 big champions. And then we go all at largest after that.
I don't think it's necessary. The 4 big champions are going to get in regardless.
Of course they are.
So I don't need that to be you get in automatically. No, okay. Facts. Don't care about your feelings. 12 best teams in the country.
Of course you do. But that's how you sell it, right?
I don't care about selling it.
Well, you have to sell it to the other members of the group.
Have you ever seen that meme with Jim from The Office where he's got the little board sitting beside him? $40 bajillion. End of pitch. I'm done. Do you know how much this is going to make? That's all the pitch I need.
Right. Georgia goes to 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, Florida State 4. Outside of Washington and Oregon, nobody else really has a play here other than Alabama should they win the SEC championship.
Texas.
What can Texas do?
No doubt has a play. And
what is their play?
That's what we're going to talk about in the next segment.
Oh.
Because there are some potential landmines here. I've been slow rolling this. I waited to have this talk until your Georgia Bulldogs went to 1 because you have boo-booed in your pants. And if you're not careful, the College Football Playoff Committee right now has done such a poor job of this, and they have painted themselves into such a corner that there are a handful of scenarios that could play out that would be an absolute disaster. And Texas is directly involved in 2 of them.
We'll find out what those are coming up next here on ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Nothing says welcome home like insanely clean carpets from Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. For a limited time, get 3 rooms clean for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Get early access to Macy's Black Friday specials and find big savings on gifts they'll love right now while supplies last. Like the season's latest coats, 60 to 65% off. Select boots and shoes for her, just $19.99. And update your space with furniture, mattresses, and rugs, now 20 to 70% off. Plus, get your online order even faster with store pickup, now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain chances will go up, but just a bit as we look ahead toward the latter part of the week. This afternoon, I still like cloudy. I don't think we'll see much of any sunshine and cool. Upper 50s. Overnight tonight becoming cloudy, upper 30s. Tomorrow becoming sunny with highs pleasant in the low 60s. And the clouds will thicken back up, and we'll have a chance of rain late Thursday night to Friday morning. It'll taper off to showers. It's really not a great chance. Highs will be in the low 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Disaster scenarios could be on hand for college football. So says Flostradamus Jeremy Greene. What kind of disaster scenarios are you talking about here?
Well, the ideal is that everybody wins. If everybody wins, you have no problem.
Right.
The Big Ten will sort itself out. But the problem falls what if everybody doesn't?
Okay.
And then you start trying to put lipstick on pigs, because that's how this will go. All right, ideally, you get the Big Ten champion, Michigan or Ohio State, whoever beats the other, they win the Big Ten title game, they're locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC title game, they've won out, they're 13-0 champion, they're in. Florida State beats North Alabama, Florida, and Louisville. They've got enough wins, they're in. Pac-12 champion, whoever wins that, they're in, and you really hope it's Washington, because then you got 4 undefeated teams. This is really hunky-dunky. It ties off in a neat little package. But here's where the problem comes in. How, if Oregon wins, let's say Oregon beats Washington, and Ohio State loses to Michigan State and does not get to the Big Ten title game, I mean 12s and 10s. How do you tell me that you're going to put Ohio State in or Oregon in over Ohio State? You won the conference. That's the only advantage you have. Everything else goes to Ohio State. You both have one loss. Ohio State's one loss is to the best team in the country. At worst, the two.
Right.
Their strength of record has been better the entire time. Oregon's at 9 right now. And so you're telling me all those things are just going to go out the window? We're going to throw in Oregon because they're Pac-12 champion? Good luck selling that.
Yeah.
Because it will not sell well. You mark my words.
No.
And then is the real disaster theory. What if one of those other 4 teams I'm talking about lose? Outside of what I'm talking about. Florida State loses to Louisville. Or loses to Florida and then beats Louisville. And now they've got one loss, but their record's been better than Oregon the entire time. You're still the ACC champion. Who you letting in? Because you put Florida State in a spot that if they lose, they're out.
Yes.
Well, they've had the 3rd best strength of record the entire time. You lose in a rivalry game.
Would they still have it after Oregon beats Washington?
I can't imagine they would fall below Oregon. I mean, you're talking about a long – Oregon's behind Ole Miss right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that one loss in a rivalry game is going to push you past
But what do they
that.
look at more? Is it strength of schedule or strength of record?
Strength of record. Well, strength of record comes from strength of schedule. That's all baked into one.
Right. The strength of record is the record your opponents have combined, right? That's the strength of record?
No, well.
And the strength of schedule is the toughness of your schedule.
Strength of record comes from the strength of schedule, and it's everything built into one. So it's how that's basically, if you adhered to resume is the end all be all, strength of record should be the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the playoff, which would be Ohio State, Washington, Florida State, Michigan. Well, obviously that's not what we've done. Because that's not the end all be all. The eye test does come into it. A lot of other things come into it.
Yep.
I fully get that. The problem is that you baked yourself this little pie of problem when you started pandering. Because having Ohio State won, I get why you did it. That means the eye test doesn't matter. So that means you're weighing strength of record way too much, which means Texas is still in play. And that brings me to the real catastrophic potential problem.
Okay.
Alabama wins the SEC title game. Texas wins the Big 12 title game. They both have one loss. They're both conference champions. You care to explain to me how you're going to put Alabama in over Texas?
Can't. Texas beat
They
them
will.
head-to-head.
You mark my words, they will. Alabama beats Georgia, they're in. And it will be at the expense of anybody else.
Yep.
They would get, if Alabama beats Georgia, they'll get in over Georgia. Mark my words, that's the way this will go.
Yeah.
How in the world do you put them in over a team that beat them in their house by 10 in a game that really wasn't that close outside of one quarter? This is what I was trying to tell you. Every week I've watched these rankings just going, yep, you're still doing it. You're not figuring out what you did. And this is going to be a disaster unless you get completely bailed out. Do you know that in the entire BCS college football playoff era, we've never had this many undefeated teams this late in the season? It's never happened. Probably will never happen again.
Yeah.
A couple of them are completely irrelevant because they play in teeny tiny little conferences and they're not relevant to this discussion. But what happens if they all lose late? And then you're having to play now it's only the eye test. That's the only thing you can go by.
Or who has the best, latest, greatest win. Right.
Latest and greatest doesn't matter. They've screamed that. You can say, I don't care what you think. I care what they have screamed since this started of it does not matter when the win happens. We don't play favoritism to what we've seen most recently. You said that, not me. You painted yourself in this corner, not me. I just so happen to remember you said it 500 times.
Now, how many times in this process have they gone against things they've said?
That's
what I'm saying.
Not a striking number.
Yeah, I just...
It's never really mattered before because we've never... There have been contentious... Okay, Ohio State... There was one year Ohio State should have gotten in to some people. It's a flimsy, weak argument. It always was a flimsy, weak argument. In the years we've been doing this show, I have never missed the Final Four. I've had them in order every single year. Because if you take the bias out of it, it's pretty easy to figure out who those four should be. This year, it's probably not going to be that way.
Yeah.
And so these rankings have mattered. They will continue to matter. And when it all comes down to it, I'm just seeing too many variables here that can be absolute disasters.
Yep. But there again, it all has to go off the rails to run into that problem.
It doesn't really have to go off the rails. Where it can come completely unhinged, if Washington loses to Oregon State, you're elemento screwed because there is no path that this goes the way you want it to. None. You're going to have 5 teams that have, according to you, equal or really, really close resumes. That game's this weekend. It's at Oregon State, which is a horrible matchup for Washington. They lose that game and win the Pac-12, you're in full disaster theory. Full on, no doubt, this is going to be a nightmare because now you've brought in Ohio State or Michigan, whoever loses. You want to keep Michigan out. If it was ideal, if everything went hunky-dunky for this college football playoff committee, Ohio State would beat Michigan. They would dog walk whoever they play in the Big Ten title game, and then they could easily just say, you know what, Michigan's got a lot of things going on. We had to take that into account, and then they lost the best game that they played. They struggle with Penn State. We keep them out, and behind closed doors they're going, Michigan could literally have turned water into wine, and we would not have let them in with one win or with one loss, excuse me.
Right. I don't see that. I don't really see that happening.
I don't either.
That's the problem. Because in order for that to happen, well, no, I guess you're right.
Well, Tom Brady is
Ohio State misses. Ohio State beats them. They'll get buried.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, there's zero doubt in my mind. And the moving Georgia ahead of them, that was step one.
Mm-hmm.
That was step one of this process. Putting Georgia at that number one spot. That was when I went, yep, now we have full on completed the unholy trinity of you're not doing what you're telling us you're doing, and it's going to burn you like a long forgotten loaf of bread. Because it could get, I mean, there are theories where it could go even worse than what I have said.
What do you mean?
You start raking in ancillary losses, games where you don't lose to contenders, and it becomes a nightmare. In all reality, you want a loss or two because you want to cull a couple of these where you can go, well, see, 2 losses. They're obviously out.
Yeah.
Texas. Every college football playoff committee member is sitting around praying, please, God, let Texas lose to somebody. Because that is going to be an uncomfortable conversation when we have absolutely no reason to put Alabama ahead of them, but we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Eat and Sleep Football said Florida State shouldn't be in the playoffs, in my opinion. But they'll get in. I can't figure out how in the world people keep saying that. It's because you're going solely off the eye test. The resume still matters. It has to matter.
Yeah,
it has to matter
because whatever you've seen of Florida State the last 3 weeks, has it been? It's not been cakewalky. You know, it just hadn't looked great. It hadn't looked, Georgia 52-17 over Ole Miss.
You beat Wake Forest by 25 in a game that was never close for not 5 seconds. You dog-walked Pittsburgh. It took a half for you to do it, but you did it. And if you want to get into you didn't look good for a half, I got 6 weeks of your Georgia Bulldogs I would love to talk about.
No doubt.
And it was close with Miami. It's a rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rivalry game.
But
they're all close.
Yeah, but fan-wise, I don't think you get that benefit, and that's why people say that.
Well, and that's the reason that fans don't have a vote
in
this.
But that's why. Because that's a Miami team that we have seen be mediocre this year, and you only beat them by 7. And then Pittsburgh, you should have beat them by 50, and it was only 24-7.
Nobody should ever beat anybody by 50 if you play in the same conference. The talent's not that discrepant. And secret time, none of them are doing that.
They tell that to Ole Miss.
Well, I mean, Ole Miss is a game that Georgia comes in fully loaded.
Oh, yeah.
Tell that to South Carolina.
Yeah.
I keep doing this. So, I mean, tell that to Penn State playing Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Tell that to Ohio State playing Maryland. I can do this until the cows come home because every single one of you have one of those.
Sure.
You start getting into style points and how good you look in games that are already over, you walk into a whole new ball of wax. The 4 teams that are in right now, if everything stays the way it is, the winner of the Big Ten and then the winner of the Pac-12. That's your 4.
Yep.
But, man, there's a lot of landmines here that could go super bad.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. A reminder that tomorrow after the show, we're going to be out at the Ingles on New Leicester Highway in Irwin Hills, 575 New Leicester Highway. We'll be out there with our good friends from Ingles Markets and, of course, our good friends from Manna Food Bank. The Ingles Giving Tree will be lit on Monday at the Asheville Mall, and this Thursday we're preparing for that by taking donations. 575 New Leicester Highway coming up tomorrow, 4 to 6. Join me and Jeremy there.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain chances will go up, but just a bit as we look ahead toward the latter part of the week. This afternoon, I still like cloudy. I don't think we'll see much of any sunshine and cool upper 50s. Overnight tonight becoming cloudy, upper 30s. Tomorrow becoming sunny with highs pleasant in the low 60s. And the clouds will thicken back up, and we'll have a chance of rain late Thursday night to Friday morning. It'll taper off to showers. Really not a great chance. Highs will be in the low 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stachik.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Don't let unused insurance dollars go to waste. Most insurance plans cover 2 dental cleanings and exams each year before expiring on January 1st. Maximize the dental insurance benefits you're already paying for and schedule your exam today with Asheville Smiles. Dr. Merrill's mission is world-class dental through technology and research. You'll get the most advanced treatment with the comforts of home. Schedule your exam now before the end of the year rush. AshevilleSmiles.com. That's AshevilleSmiles.com.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517, with locations in Asheville and Greenville.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
A Christmas tradition is back. The Asheville Holiday Parade, presented by Bojangles, is Saturday, November the 18th at 11 a.m. in downtown Asheville. This year's theme is the Snow Globe and also features a onesie 1-miler race along the parade route starting at 10:30. After the parade, families can make their way to the Restoration Hotel for free photos with Santa from 2 to 4 p.m. But you can't have a holiday parade without great volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer, go to AshevilleDowntown.org. Proudly sponsored by iHeart Media, Asheville.
At Ingles, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. Thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thank you for your kindness in the aisles and your smiles at the register. Thank you for supporting our efforts to help our neighbors in need. Thank you for trusting us to feed your family with food from farms close to home. Thanks for everything, and happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Ingles, your neighbor for over 60 years.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles Studio, and I love weird world records, and another world record has been set, Jeremy. An Iowa man has officially been awarded the Guinness Book of World Records record title for his collection of pencils. He has 69,255 pencils, and apparently he brought them to the American Pencil Collectors Society over the summer. And I want to know what they left out of this report is that they were all counted by hand. How long did that take? And how many quote-unquote volunteers did you have to sit there and count 69,000 pencils to award this completely useless world record?
Well, I feel like you're burying the lead here.
What's that?
Well, he has a handful of other world records, too.
Yeah.
He has 417,000 you-up text messages ignored from women that he's met on social media. He has an increasingly shameful pornography collection.
Wow.
That is about the only thing that keeps him warm at night.
Wow.
And he has eaten more Hungry Man dinners than any person on the planet Earth. I made those up. It's just an assumption, because anybody that looks at this and goes, I'm going to collect 70,000 pencils. I'm going to say that you probably don't do well at bars.
Yeah.
Last call happens, and you're sitting there with a real sad vodka soda.
Yeah. 69,255 pencils. That is the record. Some of the pencils that he has apparently dates back more than 100 years. And it's not like he just collected all these, regular yellow number 2 pencils like we used in school. He collects specialty pencils. So he's got like NFL pencils with the team schedules from 1970 and things like that. So there probably are some cool ones in here, but still, it's pencils. And by the way, I just want to mention, if you Google this story later, just to find out, what this guy looks like, to see if he matches up with Jeremy's interpretation there, I'm going to tell you he has a striking resemblance to the former spokesman for a fast food restaurant that got into a little bit of trouble. And if that doesn't send the message for you, would you like to know what the official word for someone who collects pencils is? It's a penophile.
The biggest number for this feller, 1. He's still waiting to see 1 pair of boobies in person. My story comes from California. It's about a man named Timothy Cahay. He is a carpenter's apprentice.
Cahay.
And he is the definition of why Jeremy is not much of a handyman. He was doing handy things. He was fastening down plywood flooring with a nail gun. As you do. I mean, I don't, but a lot of people do. And he shot a nail into the plywood. It hit another nail, and then would you like to guess where it went? Through his face. It went through his lip, through his tongue, into the roof of his mouth, and lodged into his skull. As this happened, he, as the AP story says, in shock, put the tool down, walked downstairs to report the incident, bleeding as he went. It became apparent to his coworkers that Timothy required medical treatment. No kidding. They took him to the doctor. They made him wait a day before they took it out of his head.
Oh.
So, little for a day. I would have become increasingly angry at this.
Oh, yeah.
He is now suing the manufacturer of the nail gun, which was subject to a recall 10 years ago, because there is it can jam and override the safety switch that permits only 1 nail to fire it at a time, posing an injury risk. This feller's getting ready to have a good amount of money from an unnamed drill company. This is why Jeremy calls the guy. Okay? You want to know why I call the guy? Because I'd be this idiot. I'd be the unlucky one that now I have this sweet little, I got a place to hang my jacket, and it hangs on my forehead because I got a nail drilled in my skull.
I got some furniture to put together later. You're not going to come help me with that?
No. I have to put a couch together later, and I've already got the angina, and I'm pretty sure they don't even connect to each other. I think I just have to push them together, and it just sits there that way. Have I ever told you my story of the one time I've ever gone to an urgent care?
When you stepped on the nail?
No, that wasn't urgent care. I actually went to the hospital for that.
Oh, okay.
That's the only time I've ever been to a hospital.
Okay.
And this is coming from a guy that has separated his shoulder twice, broke his foot once, didn't go to the hospital, not nary one time for either of those things. And here's why. I thought I had broken my whole hand. I, in all reality, just broke my whole thumb. Right at the base, and it had made my hand swell up, and it was really annoying. And so there's an urgent care in Weaverville, or at least there was. I don't know if it's still there or not. I don't frequent Weaverville, although it's a lovely place.
Mm-hmm.
I go in, and there is obviously the sick people, which I don't like hanging out with sick people. And they give me the intake paperwork. I fill it out, and I notice that there's a feller sitting next to me with a towel on his back, and his little buddy there is holding the towel on his back. And I asked a question that I have regretted for the rest of my life. What happened to your back? Pulls the towel off. There is a nail sticking out of his back. They then proceed to tell me the story that they had somehow modified their nail guns to shoot nails at each other. Which I went, you just told me a lot about you that you probably didn't mean to tell me about you. Oh, I can still see that in my head when I tell this story.
Mm-hmm.
Gnarly things.
Don't do nail gun fights. That's not a good idea.
You know what's funny? My father was a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
I've known a handful of contractors over the years. I've actually seen that happen. I've heard about it a slew of times. And I'm like, do you realize how badly this could go? I mean, I hate to go full mom here, but somebody could put an eye out.
Right.
And that might be the best thing that happens. And that is one of those stories that this is a good time to remind you that the world for thousands of years has been supported by survival of the fittest. If you stop protecting stupid people, they have a weird way of thinning the old gene pool.
Yes, indeed. It is the Sportsocracy.
But instead, we just allow them to procreate and create new stupid people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're called Democrats. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Make them laugh.
I'm
make
sorry.
them laugh.
I shouldn't have done that. Love them.
You're going to have
them. Hey, look, we all have them in our family. We just kind of deal with them, right? Thanksgiving's coming up. Just practice now.
Yeah.
Practice ignoring them now.
Yeah,
okay?
your Thanksgiving dinner just got a lot more awkward.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. And we've had a bit of a revolving door at number one in the NFL power rankings so far this year.
That's because there's not a number one. There are a slew of teams that on the right day could be the best team in the league.
We started out the season with Buffalo at the top. Was that where we started?
I think we started with Kansas City. I had Cincinnati early because that was my Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I looked back at my record here, and I could only find the graphics for the first since week 4 of our power rankings here.
That's because we didn't have a graphic before week
4. Right, so I didn't know who started number one, but since week 4,
it's hard to find something that doesn't exist.
Right,
your pencil feller will learn that about trying to find a woman that wants to hear about his pencil collection.
Excuse me, ma'am.
And I have this pencil. Would you like to discuss it? And possibly later I'll buy you a drink.
I heard you're into Barbie. I just so happen to have 1,772 Barbie pencils at my home. Would you like to come see them?
I just realized that that's Neil Goldman that you're doing.
Yes.
And that's just fine.
It's one of my better impressions.
That is formidable.
Anyhow, since week 4, San Francisco has been number one. Kansas City's been number one. Also, Philadelphia and Baltimore. We've had 4 number one teams since week 4. I believe we started the year with Buffalo, and after
you keep saying that. I can't believe I would have done a power ranking that had Buffalo at 1. I've been down on them all year long.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think you're remembering Buffalo, but it was actually Cincinnati.
Maybe. Anywho, the question I have is from here on out, is there anybody else that breaks into that number one spot that we feel like this is now the Super Bowl contender that hasn't been at number one already? Are we just looking at this group of 5 teams, San Francisco, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, maybe Cincinnati, Miami? Is there anybody outside of that group that can break in?
Well, I'm throwing our power rankings up on the screen in our YouTube chat. We had the Eagles at 1, Chiefs at 2, Ravens at 3, Browns at 4, Bengals at 5. You got the Lions at 6, the 49ers at 7. To me, that is the 7 teams. You give me those 7 teams, you can have the rest of the field.
Okay.
And there are 2 of those that I don't feel particularly strong about, but that's the core.
Mm-hmm.
I have no belief in the Dallas Cowboys whatsoever. This is lather, rinse, repeat of so many years in the past that I just struggle to believe that you're going to break into this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has really changed. You've always had, or at least over the last handful of years, you've had a strong defense. You've had enough weapons that you can that you're never bringing a knife to a gunfight. You just never win the games. You might win one, but then you get into the second one, and away you go. The one I keep looking at is the Miami Dolphins. Because in terms of sheer talent, you have the talent to be discussed with these teams.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't ever beat the good ones.
Right. It's a big problem.
But that could change pretty quickly if you beat a handful of teams coming up. I mean, you've got the Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Titans, and Jets over the next 5 weeks. So you're not doing anything anytime soon that can unwind that.
No, 4-0.
But the last 3 of the season, you're coming in against the Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Bills. If you were able to, let's just say somehow you lose to the Jets or the Raiders. I don't care which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you go 4-1 in the next 5-game stretch. You're 10-4. The division will be completely locked up. I mean, you need to win one of these games, but that's really it. Because Buffalo's not getting to 11. New England physically can't get to 11. And the Jets they still physically could, but they physically can't.
Right.
You come into those 3 games, that's an opportunity to set yourself as a contender. You may still be playing for the 1 seed in the AFC. You come in and win 2 of those 3, and you come into the playoffs with a mindset of, we're good enough, we're talented enough, but gosh darn it, people don't like us.
Right.
And outside of that, the only other one that I can even kind of consider is Jacksonville.
Really?
Who else do you have?
Detroit Lions.
I already had Detroit in there. They're in the top 7.
The Detroit Lions, I'm just talking about being number 1 at some point. I think.
Well, they don't play anybody over the next.
And that's kind of my point. Over the next weeks of the season, we're going to see them play the Bears and the Packers and the Saints and the Broncos and the Vikings. They only have the Cowboys as a real challenging game left on their schedule.
I think Detroit will be the one before the season's over.
They are 7-2. And in that schedule that I just gave you, if you give them the one, say they beat the ones they're supposed to beat.
And they lose to the Cowboys.
This could be a 3-loss team.
Mm-hmm.
Will they ever get that credit? Will we be at that point where it's like undoubtedly these, or will we still be couching at that point and go, well, it's the Detroit City Madman or whatever, and they're a good team, but we don't think that they're on the level of a Philadelphia or Kansas City.
Well, if you don't, it'll be because you're doing the same thing that you're doing with the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you don't give them the credit. Because if you watch Detroit on the field, there's a reason I've had them ahead of San Francisco for a handful of weeks, because they're better than they are. You tell me right now, neutral field, Detroit Lions play the San Francisco 49ers, I'll take Detroit for anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
But they are the Detroit Lions. They are the Detroit Lions. And so there is a stigma around them of Jets going Jet, Browns going Brown, Lions going Lion.
Yep.
And is there a possibility that they get to 1? They might for us. I don't think they will on the mainstream, because people will just defend it by saying, yeah, but remember that game with Baltimore. And then you played a bunch of nobodies. You struggled with the Chargers until you put it away late.
Mm-hmm.
And then you beat some of the dregs of the NFL, because you're in a terrible division with 2 of the worst teams in the league. And you played schoolyard bully and beat up on the small kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that will go. We might get them to 1 because we believe in them anyway.
Yeah. But do you think anybody else gets them there?
I don't know.
Other than Detroit Lions blog pages?
Well, if the league keeps cannibalizing itself the way it does, and you keep, especially with the NFC, and you keep seeing a lot of these teams lose games that are kind of confusing, they might.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle to believe that Philadelphia is going to lose enough games to get them there. I mean, because Philadelphia, they're 8-1 right now. You've got a really ugly stretch for the next 5 weeks, but it's not as ugly as it once looked. I mean, the Bills in Philadelphia, I'm not going to say I'd bet my house on it, but I'm also not going to say there's a possibility of me taking the Bills. I don't think Seattle can beat you, and I don't really think Dallas can beat you in Dallas. So even if you lose those 2 to the 49ers and the Chiefs, you ended out with the Giants, Cardinals, and the Giants, so they're going to be 14-3 too.
Mm-hmm.
And if those 2 have the same record, I struggle to believe the mainstream is going to look at the two of them and go, Detroit's better.
I agree.
Whether they are or not, I don't think it really matters.
I agree.
810 Media Group said Detroit and Cincy are two teams that I could see losing or winning to any team before the AFC or NFC championship games. They both have really high upsides, but I've seen really bad from both of them. I agree with you. I said a few weeks ago that I thought the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Lions were going to be the one seeds in each conference. Jacksonville has fallen off that because I flat out don't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Detroit to a point, but it's more because of who they play. I like the team. But there are a handful of these games I don't see a path to you losing. So long as you all 53 get on the plane and you all put your pants and helmet on the right direction, you're going to come out and win.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure that proves anything.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's parlay of the night is next.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
'Tis the season when you're in the mood for holiday music. Listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingles Markets.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Mus Cologne, couples trampoline.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
It's a rare night where I'm taking both favorites. In the first hour, I gave you Miami of Ohio minus the 8.5. Ohio minus the 11. So we got to find somewhere to make some money, and the way to do that is with a parlay. We put 5 on it every single day, and I'm going to give it to you. I've missed 4 of these in a row by 1 game. So tonight, we're going to try to simplify it. We're not going to try to hit the home run, just try to hit a stand-up double. We take Miami of Ohio minus the 8.5. We go under the 39 because I don't think Buffalo is going to do much to contribute to the scoring output this evening. You take Ohio minus the 11, go under the 47.5 there. Same premise. Central Michigan, not very good. Ohio, I don't think they can score 48 points, but if I get burned, that will be where. We also take Miles Cross, anytime touchdown scorer. No player for the Bobcats has caught more touchdown passes this year, and they have not played a team this bad against the pass in over a month. So Miles Cross, anytime touchdown scorer. Under 47.5, Ohio minus the 11, Miami of Ohio minus the 8.5, under the 39. You take that to betus.com, you put 5 on it just like I am, and that 5-leg parlay pays at plus 2,600, which would pay you 135 U.S. doll hairs. Take those wagers to betus.com, use our promo code Sportsocracy, get 125% deposit match on your initial investment, and up to 30 risk-free wagers so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain chances will go up, but just a bit as we look ahead toward the latter part of the week. This afternoon, I still like cloudy. I don't think we'll see much of any sunshine, and cool, upper 50s. Overnight tonight becoming cloudy, upper 30s. Tomorrow becoming sunny with highs pleasant in the low 60s. And the clouds will thicken back up. They'll have a chance of rain late Thursday night to Friday morning. It'll taper off to showers. Really not a great chance. Highs will be in the low 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. In Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate. The best a man can get down there. Buy now.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles Studio.
We're back in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to the sportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. You never know what you're going to learn here in the Sportsocracy.
We learned in the second hour that somewhere in America there's a dude with a bunch of pencils that's never seen a boob.
That's right. That's right.
Because that's what we do. We give you information like that.
You never know what you're going to learn. And we got another hour of the program to go.
And now it's the daily draft time, and we're going to do fattest things.
Yeah. Jeremy is all excited because the McRib is back.
Greatest fast food item on the planet.
And
I'll be having 2 more after that. Frankly, at this point, so I've been keto for, I don't know, 6-7 weeks now, with very rare breaks, which means that Jeremy's not getting his domestic lights. I also quit smoking. Basically, I have taken all of the things that I really like away from myself. Now, I'm in a 36-hour break from that, which means you've heard of Mr. Steal Your Girl. I'm Mr. Steal Your Bread. If there's bread in this building, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat an uncooked potato later. I don't care. I haven't had a potato and I can't tell you how long.
Just whatever it is.
Don't care.
It's got a carb in it. It's got his name on it.
Face hole.
Yep.
I saw a chicken salad sandwich sitting in our refrigerator during that break. I ate it. Was I hungry? Nope. You know why I ate it? Because I could.
Yep.
It was there, and I ate it.
This is why we cannot be left to our own devices for long. We need direction. We need a goal.
I'm very good as long as I get to cheat every once in a while. I don't have to eat like garbage every day. I just have to be able to eat like garbage occasionally. And that is the beauty of keto.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do it, you might as well go big.
So with the release of the McRib, it is back for a limited time only. He wanted to do best fast food menu items for today's daily draft. So,
but there's a twist.
Oh, good Lord.
That I didn't tell you about.
Of course there is.
So we've done fast food things. You all know what we like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just have a fast food draft of the best items. I want to put some terms on it.
Some what?
Some terms.
Terms. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You have to have a breakfast item. You have to have a sandwich of some kind. You have to have a chicken of some kind.
Okay.
You must have a potato of some kind. You must have a dessert of some kind. And then you get a 6th pick that can be whatever you want it to be.
Okay, so potato, dessert.
Basically, you got to make a whole day.
Chicken, sandwich. What else was it?
I don't remember. It's a breakfast item.
There you go. Breakfast sandwich.
I didn't say breakfast sandwich. I said a breakfast item.
Excuse me. And then just wild card.
And it must be able to be procured through a drive-through.
Okay.
Almost all fast food places have them, but I have to put parameters on you or you start playing loosey-goosey with the rules.
I start coming up with my own stuff.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, I feel like I won the daily draft because you went full homer and took Georgia.
Oh, in my UDFA yesterday?
Correct.
Okay.
And now I am going to use the advantage of that and say, pass.
You can't kick to the second half.
100% I can. I won the toss. I would defer.
So do I get 2 picks here?
No. You get the first pick.
No, that's not how this works in a regular draft. You pass on your pick, I get to continue in the order until you pick.
Not today. Much like you said, I won the toss, and I would like to defer.
Okay. All right. So, where to start?
Because I frankly think I can win this in 2 picks.
Let's see. Where to start? Well, since there is only one of this particular category that I'll be really disappointed if I don't get in this draft, at least off the top of my head anyway, I'm going to start, and I'm going to start with the breakfast sandwich, and I'm going to start with the croissantwich from Burger King.
That's a good one.
It is by far the best breakfast sandwich out there, in my opinion.
That's a formidable one.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the breakfast croissantwich.
Mm-hmm.
It would not have been my number 1 pick, and now I can wait for my breakfast sandwich until my 5th pick, and I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Although he could steal it from me, because he does have an auxiliary wild card spot. I don't think he will, and if he does, I have a 3rd one anyway. So
good for you.
I looked at this in a slightly different way. There are only a handful of things that are no doubt the best at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest one for me, and it's not even kind of close, is the French fry.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Not close. It wins by 1 billion, and they have to be fresh. I tell them to not salt mine, specifically so I will get them fresh. Because when they come out hot, I am telling you right now, I have had sexual experiences that were not nearly as good as that good McDonald's French fry.
I think you're doing it wrong.
I mean, not recently,
Oh,
okay?
All right.
Most of that was I was 17. I was like pencil guy. I didn't really know what I was doing.
All right, McDonald's French fries.
That
Good
one
job.
to me is just it's the best potato item
is.
that anybody has.
It is.
If you had I'll find out what your 2 is.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 is not a French fry. The underrated French fry is Wendy's,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they have ghost pepper sauce on them, and they're just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're going to take one that I don't like as much as everybody else.
Probably not.
Really?
Because I no, I mean, you're probably right, I guess is what I should have said. Because, yes, McDonald's is the go-to, right? They're the number one on the French fry list. But I don't feel like they're as far and away above everything else as many people do. Yes, I'm disappointed that I couldn't get it, but that was a calculation. Because I considered taking it at 1, and then I thought, you know what? There's other fries out there that I could have.
There are, but they're not as good.
But they're close to me.
To me, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also, and see, this is where we've done this together so long that I can use your own words against you, because you, in your fatter times, told me that you would stop at Burger King and get their burger and stop at McDonald's and get their French fry.
Yes. Yes.
That is called evidence.
It's not the only. That's not the only one I've done it with, though.
Oh, I underestimated the fatness of Mr. Spencer.
Yes, indeed.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
there's only one other menu item that I feel like I can corner the market because one of them is so far and away better than the rest of them. And it's the dessert. McDonald's cannot be listed here because they don't have a working ice cream machine in the Northern Hemisphere. Their ice cream machines, well, they vote libertarian because they only work every once in a while, and it's very rarely when you want them to. So I'm going to go to the old classic, and it's quite possibly not the one you're thinking I'm going to say. It's the Dairy Queen Blizzard. That's the winner by a mile.
It's the only.
There's another one that's in the ballpark, but it's not as good.
It's the only way to go. I was getting excited there for a second.
You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you?
Well, I was hoping you were going to say something else.
No, it's the Dairy Queen Blizzard.
You said the right thing.
Mm-hmm. It's the Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Absolutely.
I have no doubt won the dessert and the tater.
Yes.
And so now the onus is on you to come back. Because right now I'm sitting here with about a 20-3 lead, and I can play that prevent defense. Let's go Big Macs, boys, Big Macs. It's not great. It's good enough to get the game. Just need a couple first downs, punter away.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah, because if you took the Big Mac, that's exactly where you.
If you take the Big Mac, I will laugh at you.
Just enough.
Now, unless you go total fat on the Big Mac and go, I need double meat. The bread ratio on the Big Mac is off.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, you got to have more meat.
Mm-hmm.
Get quarter-pounder meat, and then you'll go, ooh,
the Big Mac is terrible to me in the same sense that the Las Vegas Raiders are a terrible football team. Does that make any sense to you?
So it's not, but you keep saying it in the hopes that it will become true?
Well, I mean, it's not good. That's the point.
A Big Mac's good. It's just not, it's not the best.
You got to leave out some of that bread for me. That's what kills it for me. You want to take the bread out of the middle and then put it together, then that's a banger of a sandwich.
That's actually the play I usually go with.
You should. All right, geez. Well, you said I had to have.
Before I went keto, Tank used to dominate food drafts. Now, food is my wife and food are the only two joys I have.
Well,
left.
see, here's the thing. When you told me we were going to do this, I went, okay, we'll just items. All right. I didn't know there were going to be parameters, and I had categories I had to pick from, and which one's going to be first, which one's going to be next.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, but did you ask?
I did not, and maybe I should have. I will go with my next two selections here. I'm going to go chicken. And when there's chicken and it's fast food, there's only one chicken to go to, and that is the Lord's chicken, and it will be the original Chick-fil-A sandwich.
It is good. That was not my one at chicken, just so you know.
Really?
No. And there's a reason for that. I'll explain it when I take mine.
And then
I mean, and don't get me wrong, Chick-fil-A, fantastic. And it's never bad. You always get the same sandwich from Chick-fil-A every single time.
Yes.
Which that has to be accounted for.
Yes. And then I've always been iffy on what is the best sandwich out there. And I can't do the one I want to because they don't have a drive-through. Still technically.
Which one is that?
Five Guys.
Yeah, Five Guys was actually the one that I thought you were going to play.
Five Guys is a fast food.
Hey, here's the thing. Here's the reason I can't say Five Guys. I don't have to take out a mortgage every time I got a hankering for a cheeseburger. Okay,
and you're not wrong about that. That is the lunch where you go, I want to be fast food, but I kind of want to be fancy today and splurge a little.
Yeah, I mean, Five Guys and an Outback Steakhouse cost the same amount. Nope.
But this place does have a drive-through. And to me, the burger, it takes it up another notch. It's kind of a specialty thing, and we only have one here in the area. But it's is it the Steak and Shake? That has the
We do not have one of those anymore. It closed.
Oh, the one in Weaverville closed?
Yep. And you know how I know that? Because I drove out there. Just full fat kid happiness. You want to know why today's so planned? Because I sat in the drive-thru of a vacant building.
Oh, no. How drunk were you when you did that?
Well, I was driving, so I obviously wasn't drunk. I was keto, and it was a cheat day, and I wanted that burger from Steak and Shake, and there were none.
But, I mean, you said you sat in the drive-thru of an empty building.
Well,
how long?
Well, I sat there and cried. It wasn't because I didn't know it wasn't open. It was because I was sad.
Why did I have excuse me for going above and beyond, thinking that Jeremy, who might have a little bit of a drinking problem, was sitting behind the wheel going, I just really wanted a burger.
The only drinking problem I have is a problem for you, and it's that I'm better at it than you
are. Yeah, the Wisconsin Buttery, though, at the old Steak and Shake. It's phenomenal.
Wow, that is super off the board.
It is off the board.
I live within 8 minutes of that Steak and Shake. I don't know that I ever had that one.
Oh, the Wisconsin Buttery?
I don't
think best thing on the market.
I don't think I ever had one of those.
You missed out. Now you got to drive down to Greenville to go get one. I know there's one down there.
All right, so you've taken chicken, you've taken burger, and I don't think you're taking two burgers. So I feel pretty formidable that you're not going to snake me on the burger. I'm going to take my chicken right here.
Okay.
It's the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Good for you.
I wasn't a Popeyes guy. We had one of those here when I was a kid. And I was a kid, you know, hadn't let the world temper me to the world. And I thought it was a little spicy. I was like 8.
Mm-hmm.
Now, phenomenal. So good. Throw a little hot sauce on that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a little mac and cheese, throw the mac and cheese on top of the sandwich, eat it together. Let's go.
Wow. I won't even go that far.
Well, that's because you had a heart attack. I ain't had one of those yet to really shake me into you ought not do that.
Well, one, because macaroni and cheese on a sandwich is just weird.
Awesome. It's awesome.
And
it's
weird.
awesome. And I'm telling you, somebody listening to this show will do it. They will go to a Popeyes, and it will happen in very short order. They'll go, I never thought of that.
No.
And they'll get the little side order of mac and cheese. They'll dump it on top of the sandwich, and then they will come see us at the Ingles on Newly Sister Highway tomorrow, and they will hug me, and they will have tears of joy in their eyes.
Not gonna happen. You know why? Because they're out of them. They don't have them.
That's not true. Don't you speak ill of my friends.
I have never been to a Popeyes where they had everything on the menu.
You're going to the wrong one then.
Never.
Patton Avenue.
Nope.
Facts don't care about your feelings. That home run.
Nope.
I will go out of my way to go there. So good.
I will never go to another one because every time I go there, they're out of what I want. And
I mean, that's the thing about Popeyes. They're out of something. They're out of one thing. Just audible to something else. It's
not
all
that good,
delicious. Oh, it's so good.
No.
It's all good.
No.
It's so good.
All right, good for you. Popeyes. Congratulations.
Well, now it's time for a commercial break.
No.
I gotta strategically figure out where I'm going next because you do still have some ways that you could. I got to make sure I don't go C.J. Stroud here and throw an interception and let you back in the game because right now I'm way out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're way back here.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't won a food draft in a long time. Let's go.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently, there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517, with locations in Asheville and Greenville.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
It's ESPN Asheville. Welcome in to the Wednesday program. We're in the middle of the daily draft. And today it's all about fast food. Jeremy wanted to do a food draft because he went pure fatman today.
I'm going to add up how many calories I have today. I'll go ahead and tell you, it could be in the 5 digits, folks. I've been eating clean and living right and all that. Oh, and I'm going to crush domestic lights tonight. 100%. If I come in here tomorrow and look like I got hit by a car and left for dead, you know why.
It started with the Little Caesars pizza last night.
Oh,
yep,
yes.
that was the go-to.
There's 2 pieces that left in the fridge.
And then for breakfast this morning, he had a McRib.
100%.
Courtesy of Mark Starling of News Radio 570 WWNC and his secret donor. And then he's going to have 2 more after the show.
Correct.
Because, I mean, because you have to. You can't just eat 3. So that inspired today's daily draft of fast food items, and then Jeremy broke it down further, spur of the moment, into, hey, we got to have categories. So you got to go breakfast sandwich, a chicken item, a regular sandwich, whether it be a burger or whatever, dessert, a potato, and then you can have an other wild card item as your 6th item in today's fast food items daily draft. It started with me. I went breakfast sandwich, the greatest breakfast sandwich ever invented, which is the croissant from Burger King.
That would
it
be
cannot
my
be
2.
touched by any breakfast sandwich in existence.
That would be my 2. I've got a 1 and a 3 that I think are very close.
Then Jeremy follows that up with taking the best and the number 1 French fry on the market since the beginning of fast food. That is the McDonald's French fry. Followed that up with the the Blizzard from Dairy Queen, which is the number 1 ice cream fast food, and that you can get in a drive-thru. I have to say that because I wanted to take something from Five Guys later, and I couldn't do that because, well, not only do you have to take out a second mortgage on your house to eat there, but you also don't have a drive-thru.
Correct.
I went with the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A as the next one because nothing touches God's chicken, not even the devil's chicken that Jeremy chose later in the draft. And then I went specialty burger or just burger, Steak and Shake, Wisconsin buttery. To me, that is the best on the market. And then Jeremy went Popeye's chicken sandwich, which is never available, and
it's
not
awesome.
That good. Anyway,
it's always available, and it's awesome. So I feel like I've already got this in the bag.
You know,
I mean it's 31-3 now, and now even the CJ Stroud interception's not going to burn me. So I'm gonna take the delicacy that spurred this draft. It is time for old one Mr. McRibby. It's delectable, and if those of you that don't like it, tell me why you don't like it, without commenting on what it was. Don't worry about what it was. It was horse hooves and chicken beaks. I got it. I don't care what made it. Pigtails and snoots and horns and all kinds of things. But then they take those items and they press them down with love. That's what creates the little ribbing on top of the McRib.
Oh, is that what it is?
I'd never actually seen one of those until this morning when I saw a McRib without the sauce. And everybody always said, oh, that'll make you never want one again. Oh, no. Au contraire, mon frere. That makes me want to order them that way every time. So they will give me the big tub of the best barbecue sauce, which is McDonald's. Tremendous. I just dunked my chicken salad sandwich in that same barbecue sauce. And then you get the wispy little pickles, the little slithery onion pickles, or slithery onions and pickles, and it's just perfect. It is a great sandwich. It is wonderful. It is a change that we can all believe in. And I said this morning, you want to unite the nation? Donald Ronald 24. Let's go. Stop. I don't love the first part of that, but the second part, I am a huge fan of.
Yeah. As afraid of clowns as you are,
you're
not pulling that ticket.
That's a clown I'd vote for. Yeah, and it could be Donald Duck for all I care.
Yeah.
Just give me all the McRib long.
All right, back to me for 2 selections here. I've got my breakfast sandwich, my chicken. I got my regular sandwich. So I still need my potato and a dessert. Do we have to take all of these in the 5 and then take the extra one later?
Or can I take
them in
the
any
extra
order?
one right now. I know what I did. I took the McRib. I opened up the chance for you to bust me on a burger. I don't think there's a burger that's good enough that's going to get me.
No, there's not.
You also could bust me on the breakfast sandwich, and you could take a second one.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I have given you the caveat of I have 3.
And I'm going to let you have any of those you want. I'm not a big breakfast guy. I am. I don't like many of the sandwiches. Breakfast sandwiches, anyway.
There's one you're sleeping on.
I'm sure there probably is.
You don't live anywhere near one of these places.
Yes, that's probably why I'm sleeping on it, because I can't think of it right now. But what I can think of right now is a potato item, and I am going to go with back to Chick-fil-A for the waffle fry.
That's the one I thought you were going to take.
The waffle fry
is grossly overrated.
Is not.
It is grossly overrated.
Stop that.
As I've gotten older and my tastes have changed, that Chick-fil-A waffle fry, I got that in my last keto cheat day.
Mm-hmm.
I was so upset. It ruined my whole day.
Why?
Because some of them are soggy and some of them are crispy. It's just the nature of the beast.
That's why I like them.
That's just the nature of the beast. That's what they are. That there's nothing that you could do to prevent that.
Mm-hmm.
I've just learned I'm not I'm not a huge fan of that.
Okay, all right. I don't mind it.
So now when I go to Chick-fil-A, I get the grilled sandwich with the fruit, and it's actually healthy without the bun.
Well, there you go. A lot of sodium in that grilled chicken. Just watch out for that.
You know. Well, here's the thing. I got 36 years where I refuse to eat anything with salt on it, so I think I'm okay.
Maybe so. I'm just warning you. I got to watch my salt intake now. By the way, I will be eating none of this anytime soon.
I might eat all of it before the day is over.
As I am still committed to my plan, but I still can dream, right? A boy can dream. The waffle fry is so perfect to me, though, because it is a wonderful delivery system for all of the condiments. Whatever your condiment of choice is, whether you choose to put the Polynesian sauce on them, whether you choose to put the Chick-fil-A sauce on them, whether you choose to go freak like me and do the whole mayonnaise and ketchup mixture thing.
Which is gross.
It is a great vessel for the condiment.
So basically what you're telling me is that you just went full Mitch Hedberg and you called the waffle fry a small edible plate.
Indeed. That is exactly what it is. And that makes it superior to all of the other French fries not named McDonald's.
Arby's curly fry. You could have scored a touchdown right there and you missed.
They don't do them anymore. They don't have them anymore. Company-wide, no more curly fries.
Well, I'm glad I didn't take that.
Exactly.
I'm glad I didn't know that.
Super pissed off when I found that out in person at the drive-thru.
That's what I was taking if you took McDonald's French fries #1. So you missed an opportunity there.
Yep. So next, final pick here for the categories. I'll just hold on to I'll take my dessert here. Now, Jeremy, you may say this is cheating, but
I probably will. You cheat a lot.
But here's the thing. Name's on the door, and technically it qualifies. So I'm going with the Freezy from Tasty Freeze. They have a drive-thru. It is fast food, and it won't break the bank.
And nobody outside of Asheville has any idea what you're talking about.
Don't care. We were actually just asked to do a local foods, and maybe that'll make it on the local foods as well.
So I have an announcement about that at the end of the Daily Draft.
Mm-hmm.
There was another part of this that virtually anything I do will be self-serving, and this was a little self-serving.
Yeah, Tasty Freeze, the Freezy, it's the Blizzard, basically. But they have way more flavors.
So I still have to go burger and breakfast sandwich or breakfast item.
Mm-hmm.
The breakfast Baconator from Wendy's is the sandwich that you are grossly sleeping on. I think it and the croissant sandwich are neck and neck, and there is so much bacon on that thing that it wins.
Mm-hmm.
It's outrageously good. I considered the McGriddle because I do like the McGriddle.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the egg. I'm not a fan of the little disky egg.
Okay.
It's another one of those things that has changed over time because I've seen me eat 10,000 McGriddles in my life. Always sausage. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing that I don't know what burger to take here. I almost feel like I should just punt it and be super safe. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Whopper. The Whopper is never a miss. It is the one thing that Burger King always does well. And don't give me chicken fries. They taste like chicken ankles, okay? I don't like things that are just a plate for sauce.
By the way, for note, the chicken fry far superior to the McRib, and it ain't close.
You're on methamphetamine.
Nope.
The McRib is divine.
Compared to everything else that's been on here, the McRib is by far the worst thing here.
No.
Yes.
Your burger that no one has ever heard of. I've never been to Tasty Free, so I have no idea what that is.
Wait.
No, and I've told you this more than once.
Wait. You're insane.
I mean, I don't ever pass it. I come in way before, and I don't ever go that way.
That's true. That's true.
That's like the Bermuda Triangle of Asheville because I have to deal with a whole mess of traffic.
I feel like and I know you never lived on the west side of town.
Nope.
But I thought for sure everybody goes to the Tasty Freeze.
Never been one time in my whole life.
That's insane to me.
But to me, the Whopper is the safest of all the items.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Holt said the fact that neither of y'all chose anything from Taco Bell.
I still have a pick left. Thank you.
Go ahead. I want to answer that if you don't take something from Taco Bell.
I just want you to look at my little list here. You can't read it, but right here, chalupa. That's my special item. To me, that's the best thing at Taco Bell.
Now, here's why I didn't take anything from Taco Bell, and I'm not going to lie to you. I considered several because I don't care what the item is. Taco Bell has 8 natural items, okay? They just repackage them 43 different ways. The only one that they've ever taken away from me that I was angry about was the Mexican pizza. And do you know why? Because of the Mexican pizza sauce. If they had put that in a quesadilla, then you could have kept not having the tostada because I didn't need that. I just needed the Mexican pizza sauce, which is what makes that thing so delicious. I can't pick an item from Taco Bell because it's all just the same things, and it's held a different way.
It's all about in
taco,
the
quesadilla.
vessel. Yeah, in the vessel that it's in.
It's just, okay, that's the beauty of Taco Bell. You can walk up and go, hey, give me the $5 box.
Yep.
Do you want to know what's in it? Nope, because I don't care.
Yep. Honorable mentions for me were the Checkers fries. Those are the other ones that I have made special trips for.
There used to be a Checkers directly beside the hotel that I stayed at. I want to say in Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
I would go there every single time that I landed in that city.
That was the place where I would always get 2 orders of fries, one for the ride home and the other one to enjoy with the double champ that I just got from the drive-thru.
And that man had a heart attack at 40 years old, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe that tells you why.
Who is shocked? Also had the Frisco burger from Hardee's on my list. That's always my favorite there.
Nick Land said the Burger King Bacon King is better than any Whopper. If you don't like the extra stuff, you're right. The reason I took the Whopper is because it's one that naturally puts mayonnaise on the burger, and I like mayonnaise on a burger.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was safe because I feel like I absolutely demolished Tank in this.
Yep.
And for once, we're going to let you vote on it on the social medias.
Sir Jimothy says no Culver's.
I've never been to a
Look,
Culver's.
I feel like my Wisconsin buttery pick should also count for Culver's because they have the same burger there, and apparently that's the only place you can get it now in Asheville. I didn't even know that the Steak and Shake had closed.
And a low-key reason that I wanted to do this is that over the next, I'll say next couple of months because football season is really taxing on us.
Yep.
I am going to start an ancillary TikTok channel talking about fast food items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I've been inspired by I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's Kevin something. That he's really funny and his food reviews are fantastic. But we also want to do that with Asheville foods. We've tried to do this forever, and I don't know what healthy things to eat. So if you work at a restaurant, if you really like a restaurant, or if you own a restaurant, shoot me a message, Jeremy at thesportsocracy.com. I would love to come try your place. And trust me, I will give you a lot of free advertising if it's good because I would eat the same thing every day. Ask Tank. Yep. I've done it for 7 weeks.
Yes, he has.
I've eaten more bowls of chili and more bowls of chicken salad than you can shake a stick at. I need keto things that I can put in the face hole.
Right. Jason Trump says Tank hasn't met fast food that he didn't like, it seems. You're absolutely correct. There is a reason why at one point in my life I weighed 370 pounds.
Is that the highest you got?
That's the highest I got, 370 pounds. And today, I weigh 225 pounds. So I have done a lot of work to get here, and I'm not going back to 2-trip Tank Spencer at fast food restaurants. I promise you that.
God, when I met you, I'd have guaranteed you were 4 and some change.
Exactly.
I guess being 5'6", it just makes you look a little heftier than you are.
Get a little rounder, you know. There ain't much place to spread those pounds out when you're so short. Anyhow, yeah, there were a lot of places that we could have chosen from. I think we got a good collection of things there. It was far closer than you want to let on, Jeremy, but we'll let them decide. We'll let the people decide.
Well, the McRib is without a doubt. That is the polarizing choice that will decide who wins this. And you will be able to vote on that on our social medias sometime after the show. Yeah. I always set that expectation too high, and then I'm like, they already forgotten. So it'll be sometime tonight.
Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We will get back to the sports, but first, when we come back from the break, it'll be time for the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain chances will go up, but just a bit as we look ahead toward the latter part of the week. This afternoon, I still like cloudy. I don't think we'll see much of any sunshine, and cool, upper 50s. Overnight tonight becoming cloudy, upper 30s. Tomorrow becoming sunny with highs pleasant in the low 60s. And the clouds will thicken back up, and we'll have a chance of rain late Thursday night to Friday morning. It'll taper off to showers. Really not a great chance. Highs will be in the low 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stachik.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
'Tis the season. When you're in the mood for holiday music, listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingles Markets.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Mus Cologne, couples trampoline.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Yeah, my name is Mike Peterson, and I help people connect to healthcare. I like it because I'm really helping people. Actually, don't cost them any money to use me, but I can make their life easier. I'm there for them all year, and I help them find the best coverage for them for the least amount of money. Because there's a lot of confusion, a lot of options out there, and what's important is to find the least expensive option that best meets your needs, and I can help somebody quickly hone in on that because that's what I do each and every day.
Hummingbird Insurance. Visit hummingbirdins.com for a free consultation. Health insurance made easy.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on to WWNC.com and go to contest, and you can sign in to make your picks. Each weekly winner wins a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. Make your picks now. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. Thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thanks for everything, and happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours.
It is the Sportsocracy. Welcome back into the Ingles Studio, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes!
Don't do crimes. Indeed. Got this from from a member of the House of Reprehensibles. This comes to us from British Columbia, where a prison in British Columbia's Fraser Valley is struggling to contain a spiraling drug problem because they have drones coming in and dropping drugs, like massive amounts of drugs, over the prison walls. This is not a new scenario. We've had stories like this in the past. To me, it is just the sheer magnitude of which they're dealing with this. Just on Wednesday, the report was that officials at the prison seized almost 200 grams of crystal meth inside. It's also said that there have been 2 fatal overdoses in the prison since mid-October. This is just a disturbing trend for me, though, where, and I guess it should be for corrections officers as well. Not only do you have to police what's inside, but you also have to police what's flying over the prison as well. I think there's got to be like radar systems that every prison's going to get now, just so they can make sure that nobody's trying to do this.
One would think
any longer.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Right.
My story is about a 30-year-old in Connecticut. His name's Colby Parker. He lives in Mansfield, Connecticut, and he had a serious problem earlier in the week. He went to the supermarket, had a child with him.
Mm-hmm.
At the supermarket for a while. Child goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he do? He calls the Connecticut State Police, who showed up on scene. They combed the supermarket. They went through all of the places around the supermarket trying to find this lost child. No, it doesn't say how old the child is, but with him being 30, you can assume that the child is 12 or younger. Now, they then proceeded to go pull the surveillance tape from the supermarket. And they realized that Mr. Parker had shown up at the supermarket 2 times that day. The first time he showed up with a child. The second time he showed up with no child.
Mm-hmm.
He left the kid at home. The kid was at home. They went to his home address and found him. He forgot. And do you know why he forgot?
Because he was hound.
Because he was hound crimes. So he called police. They witnessed him driving a vehicle. So he was arrested for felony DUI, which I don't know exactly. I don't know the difference in those two. Connecticut might be a different state. I don't know. And child endangerment charges based on him calling the cops to report a kid that he didn't bring to the grocery store missing. That is a next level stupid criminal. You called the cops to say, hey, I'm doing crimes. You should come stop me.
Stupid criminals will always keep this segment fresh.
Oh, no doubt. Also, don't, drive under the influence with children or at all. Just don't do dumbest things.
Mm-hmm.
That's broad enough to encompass it all.
Jeremy, you like to live by one philosophy, but you are what your record says you are.
Correct.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what got me, and we've done this over the years of, this quarterback, is your record a quarterback stat? And what got me thinking about this was the Chicago Bears are going back to Justin Fields. I don't really understand why, but they are. Do you know what his record is as a starting quarterback in the NFL?
5-11.
He's started way more games than that.
I know.
He is 6-25. It's the worst winning percentage for any quarterback that has started more than 12 games in the NFL actively. One of the worst of all time. Now, you all know that I believe that win-loss record, that's quarterback stat. All right? Because if you give this enough time, it plays itself out. And very rarely are there instances where that's not the case. Ryan Tannehill is 10 games over 500. Well, he's been the definition of average for his entire career. And for 2 years with the Titans, he was slightly better than that. The record makes sense. Andy Dalton, Lifelong record, 83 and 82, because he is the most vanilla milkshake in all of Milkshake Kingdom. The one that people always come back to is Matthew Stafford. Well, that team was absolutely horrifically bad. He is 13 games below 500, but he did win a Super Bowl, but he had to be traded to do so. He also had pretty good talent in Detroit, and it didn't matter. Why? Because he turned the ball over a lot. And where I'm headed with this is, if you're the Chicago Bears, what is the purpose of this? All right, you're going to have 2 top 5 picks. I think that's almost unmistakable. Do you think you're going to learn something that you haven't learned in the first 31 games of his career?
No.
Do you, and I'm asking you this, do you actually think he's better than Tyson Bagent right now? I didn't ask more talented. I asked, is he better? Is he a better starting quarterback in the NFL right now than Tyson Bagent?
I'll say
the fact you have to think about that is proof positive of exactly what I'm getting ready to say.
Yeah.
There's no point in doing this. There's no point. Because all you're going to do, if you're Chicago, there are only a handful of ways you can lose. All right? You got the Carolina Panthers pick. They're absolutely horrifically awful, and they're just not going to win games. So you're going to end up with a pick in the top 5 from them. Worst case scenario.
Yes.
You're not winning enough games to get out of the top 10.
Correct.
Okay, so draw me the line for these last 7 games that could be productive with Justin Fields. What's going to happen that would make even that would change anything about the way you look at the world?
If I'm the Bears, I gotta hope that he's coming in and he is going to play better than he has at any stretch in his career and up his trade value. To me, that's the only benefit.
Okay,
here.
So you're trying to up the trade value.
I mean, yeah.
The next 4 weeks, do you know who the Bears play? At the Lions, at the Vikings, the Lions again, and at the Browns. Now, here's where I find that to be a very flawed thought. I've told you multiple times there are quarterbacks that there are some people that are just not rational about. Justin Fields is one. Tim Tebow is one. Colin Kaepernick is one. Cam Newton is one. Baker Mayfield is one. There have been a lot of these guys over the years. So let's say you up the trade value for Justin Fields. What does that mean? It means he played well. It means you can't move off of him. It means you can't move off of him. Because you have 2 top 5 picks or 2 top 10 at the very worst. If he plays well, you think Chicago Bear fans are going to go, yeah, let's sign up to get Drake May. Because the last time we drafted a North Carolina quarterback, it went so well. No, you need him to sit exactly where he's sitting right now. Because I think we are finally to the point that Bears fans have gotten to the point of, that ain't the franchise. I don't know what he is. I'm not saying he's not talented. He's not a franchise quarterback. So you're either going to play him, he's going to be awful, and it's going to get the fan base even more to where I think they already are. And typhoon his trade value even further. Or he's going to play well, and you're going to be stuck with him. Either one of those 2 things sound particularly palatable to you?
The only way that I think you get stuck with him, and look, when I say he plays well, I mean, you know, he's efficient enough where a team that doesn't have a quarterback, maybe they look at him and go, we'll give you something for it. Nobody's going to give you a first-round pick, or nobody's giving you a second-round pick. But if I can get a 3 or a 4 maybe.
What does he have to do that?
I don't know. I don't know what he has to do. But he has to play well enough for us not to win games to where I could still move off of him in the end. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that would work, but I feel like there is little opportunity for Justin Fields to hang on to this job after this year. I would agree with you. I would sit him and not play him, but if you're playing
sitting him and not playing him is the only way the end of this season goes the way you want it to.
Yeah, if you're playing him, the only 2 things you could be looking at here is either, 1, he's going to play well enough to improve his stock that I can trade him later.
And to me, that with fan base, you can't do that.
Or 2, it's going to be horrific. It's going to continue to be horrific, and that just hammers home my point of we have to move on.
And that's my point, is that there's a but with both of those. He plays well, and now there's going to be a large portion of the fan base that really wants him here. And why is this happening? Because Matt Eberflus is coaching for his job. He doesn't care about what happens to the Chicago Bears. He cares about what happens to Matt Eberflus. He's dead man walking. We both agree with that. There is nothing he can do at the end of this season to keep himself employed by the Chicago Bears. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
He doesn't see it that way. He thinks, I can put Justin Fields out there, and what if he has another run like he had last year where he rushed for 300 and something yards in 2 games? Well, then, Chicago, you've laid yourself a big grumper upon your own porch step, because now you've got a quarterback that you know is not the guy. I know he's not the guy. I've known he wasn't the guy since the minute you said his name on the podium, and he can attest to that because he was sitting right beside me when I said it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're just doing nothing but pushing yourself into chaos. Meanwhile, you could have put this kid on IR. I think you would have gotten something for him. I think you will still get something for him, no matter how bad he is, because somebody's going to be intoxicated by the talent. You could have rolled with Tyson Bagent, and who knows, maybe he improves. Maybe he does a Josh Dobbs level improvement over his career, and here is why I say that. What is Josh Dobbs' career record as a starter? If you had to take just I'll say a puncher's guess at it.
I don't know. I'd say it's probably close to 500.
It's not.
Really?
He's 2-9.
Ooh, okay.
He's 2-9 because he didn't start that game last week. He came in later.
Okay.
He started again, or not last week, the week before. So that one didn't count. He was horrific. He started 0-7 as a starter in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But you give him some time, and he turns into Josh Dobbs. I think Tyson Bagent could have done that. I firmly believe that. Now, does that mean he's your quarterback for the future? No, because nobody is going to bang the drum for Tyson Bagent. It's not going to happen. Because we all know he's limited. He could be a backup quarterback, and maybe he improves your draft stock a little bit. I don't know. Maybe you lose an extra game that you wouldn't lose with Justin Fields. What's the purpose? You think you're going to make a run to the playoffs? Because I'll go ahead and tell you you're not.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do to do so. This is just another example of a loser franchise that should be looking in the long term, and they're looking in the short term, because you have kept a coach around here that is looking out for their own hide and not looking out what's best for you. And that's the reason that programs like the Bears and the Lions in the past, the Browns in the past, the Jets in the past, the present, and probably the future, and all the Arizona Cardinals. It's the reason you go on a vicious cycle, because you hire a guy, there's all this momentum, there's all this hype. They draft a quarterback. The quarterback doesn't work out. The coach is tied to the quarterback. There's all this, the quarterback's not working out. Then you get to the point where you're getting ready to fire the coach, and the coach realizes if the quarterback doesn't succeed, I can't survive. So I have to ride with this. Eberflus did not draft Justin Fields. He inherited him. But when he signed on for this job, he agreed. My tenure is tied to Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have somebody that's basically gone rogue and is looking out for their own selfish devices. And don't be shocked when this causes a controversy, and I will be here to tell you that I told you so.
You're in the Sportsocracy, this ESPN Asheville. That'll do it for us today. We will be back with you tomorrow at noon here on ESPN Asheville, and we will have a Football Thursday for you tomorrow.
Football Thursday!
There you go. We'll be off this Friday. See you back here tomorrow at noon. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
Are you a student ready to embark on your journey towards financial independence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Trailhead Student Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed exclusively for students aged 16 to 23. Your path to financial freedom begins at Mountain Credit Union. Start building a solid foundation for your future and enjoy the benefits that come with being a part of the Mountain Credit Union family. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and a 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain chances will go up, but just a bit as we look ahead toward the latter part of the week. This afternoon, I still like cloudy. I don't think we'll see much of any sunshine and cool. Upper 50s. Overnight tonight becoming cloudy, upper 30s. Tomorrow becoming sunny with highs pleasant in the low 60s. And the clouds will thicken back up. They'll have a chance of rain late Thursday night to Friday morning. It'll taper off to showers. Really not a great chance. Highs will be in the low 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stachik.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get down there. Buy now.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Springs. This is the Adam Gold Show.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a rookie quarterback. They surrounded him with an offensive line that was dealing with injuries and wasn't prepared to block for a rookie quarterback. They have one decent receiver, and even that's an aging veteran. They traded the one good receiver they had in this misguided effort to trade up for number one in a year where there is no clear-cut number one player. Way too early to judge Bryce Young. He's surrounded by